their lives willingly for a religion. Words are even more feeble on this day, for the sight before us is that of a strong and good nation that stands in silence and remembers those who were loved, and who in return, love their religion enough to die for them. Yet, we must try to honor them, not for their sakes alone, but for our own. And if words cannot repay the debt we owe these men, surely with their actions we must strive to keep faith with them and with the vision that led them to battle and to final sacrifice. Our first obligation to them and ourselves is plain enough. Capernaum and the freedom for which it stands, the freedom for which they died, must endure and prosper.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the second Monday Night Lights tournament presented by Final Form Entertainment. I'm so glad you are joining us for another Monday night. As the first iteration of this tournament was phenomenal last week, and so I'm hoping this one lives up to the same amount of hype. I'm Mr. Bepic. Obviously, it's my stream, but I'm joined in the booth by my good friend Brody. Brody, how you doing tonight?
So happy to be back and to see another one of these great tournaments. Because last week, like you said, super hype. Hopefully, we can have another great night of Rocket League.
Absolutely. Though last week, I say it was super hype and it was a lot of fun, but it was largely one-sided. With UTK or Tennessee, the eventual winner, they only dropped one game the entire tournament. They swept their first two series and lost one to Brewton-Parker in the grand finals. So I made it my goal for this event to go and recruit teams that I think have a chance at beating Tennessee. That was like my sole purpose in finding teams for this week. So I'm hoping, Brody, that we don't have the same kind of one-sided series this time around.
Well, you're stacking the cards for them because they got to defend their title this week. And it's awesome even seeing the bracket having such a big refresh because only 2 returning teams from last week is, for me, a big positive because it shows how much talent we get to show off across the region for even just the first 2 iterations of this tournament. So super pumped to see how the bracket shakes out tonight.
And I will pop that up there real fast. I didn't have it prepared, unfortunately. I forgot about that part of production. But these are the participating teams that we have coming into tonight. And so we got UTK, Brewton-Parker, the 2 returners, like you mentioned. And then Davenport, East Tennessee, Siena Heights, Texas, Florida, and King University are the other schools joining the single elim bracket. So we got Siena Heights and East Tennessee up first, which Brody and I don't know a ton about, like how they're going to perform. I'm familiar with Siena Heights from the Great Lakes CRL region, and they're a very solid roster. But East Tennessee is a complete wild card for me because Skyline is their captain moving over from Cumberland University, and he's playing with Adrift and Landon, who are 2 players that he's familiar with, playing lands with them. But this is a new roster for East Tennessee, Brody, so we're just kind of getting treated to a new look team.
Yeah, and what better way to do it? And then putting up against a good team like Siena Heights, little region for region. I mean, East Tennessee is going to get their first taste of like very high level Rocket League action, I guess, under the banner of East Tennessee. Obviously, you helped catch me up to speed about how these guys are somewhat familiar with each other. So excited to see how that presents on the stream here today because, it's only a 5-game series. You don't have so long to try and have everything mesh on the server. So we'll see if those guys are ready and geared to go.
I'm thinking along the same line because we saw a lot of teams last week. It was a very evenly matched round 1 for the most part, but they went into round 1, started a little slow, and all of a sudden that was their night. I had Colorado last week making a run. I thought they could go all the way to the grand finals, but they lost. And I believe in Game 5 to Florida State last Monday. That was a complete shocker. And then obviously in the matchup of stream, Michigan State and JMU pulling that stuff Michigan State. I don't know. Single elim is so brutal sometimes. So you do need that fast start in this best of 5 round.
Yeah, absolutely. And those game 1s mean so much more. And I wonder if the same fate will meet some of these teams tonight because of how, much talent this bracket has as well. So there could be upsets all over the first round yet again. In the fact that, even like a Brewton-Parker King, teams that are familiar with each other, like that one, I feel like in my mind could go either way. UTK Florida, UTK is gearing and ready to defend their title. So maybe not an upset watch there, but Davenport, Texas as well could be something pretty special as well. So I'm curious how the first round shakes up compared to last week where I got pretty much every matchup wrong in my head based on who I thought was going to win.
Me too. That's the way it always goes with me, though. It's not easy to predict anything about Collegiate Rocket League. So real fast in Twitch chat, I'm gonna do a command. There we go. That's the alt streams we have going on right now. Twitch.tv/Hooded Mexican streaming that Texas versus Davenport round 1 matchup, and then Tennessee versus Florida, an all SEC match between the 1 and the 8 seed being streamed over at UTK Rocket League. So that ought to be a phenomenal match of Tammy Cracker's debut with the University of Florida. So that was one I contemplated streaming on this channel, but we had too many good matchups to go over there. So check out the alt streams while you are watching ETSU versus Siena Heights. But Brody, I believe we are about to get into this thing, so I'm gonna go ahead and tell the players to join up.
Awesome, we're just about ready to go. Ooh, isn't this exciting? All right, first game of Monday Night Lights again. Happy to be here with you, and I'm excited to see how this first round matchup shakes up.
And I apologize for the settings real fast. I forgot that my Rocket League audio was on mute in the cast that I did this past weekend. So here we go. Audio should be good. I was told I was quiet, so hopefully that's sorted as well. But East Tennessee versus Siena Heights. ETSU in blue, Siena Heights in orange. Two teams that I'm just excited to learn about because I've watched Siena Heights once. They played on MNL back on our Great Lakes night. This was a couple of months ago now. And they lost their series to Brewton-Parker double 4-0 sweep against a full strength BPC. So I'm eager to see what Siena Heights looks like when they're not playing one of the top collegiate Rocket League rosters.
Yep, and they're gonna have to do it against an Eastern Tennessee team that wants to prove to their university that their roster's about to bring them to where they want to be, because these guys are looking good so far. Pretty back and forth though to start things out. As you probably would expect, these two teams going to feel each other out for a little bit before we get going.
Save there. 11 had to turn around really quickly to save that shot from Skyline. But ETSU, all the pressure so far. They have been piling it on Siena Heights in this season. That's a nice turnaround, though. 11 scoring the opening goal. Took a minute 10. A lot of ETSU pressure, but Siena Heights, they break out and find first blood.
As soon as they decide to get a little physical, they create some space for that counter, and 11. Good finish from him. And Fuge, really good stuff from him to create all that space for his team to get out of their own half. And let's see if ETSU can respond, because they've been getting all that good pressure, like you said. But let's see if the floodgates are open now for Siena Heights.
That's a good clear for a drift to make sure those floodgates stay sealed. But 11 again, flipping the field on ETSU, looking to double that center, and plan executed perfectly. Yanini putting in the second, and Siena Heights have a 2-goal lead.
There we go, just like that. The momentum has changed to a 2-goal lead after all of ETSU's early pressure. Siena Heights now, after just a little bit into this game, have a good foothold in game 1. And like we said before we started this thing, this game is very crucial in a BO5, especially when there's no, when it's only single elimination.
Landon, a little bit of room to show what he's capable of. And the post denying what would have been a phenomenal finish, and the opening goal for ETSU. That one hurts a little bit. I wanted to see that one go in.
I can't believe it didn't, just denied by the corner. But a good confidence booster, because a lot of good mechanical skill, but it doesn't matter. The pressure's still on. 11 scores his second in this game off the crossbar and in off this car yet again, though. A very unorthodox double, though.
I don't know how he read that. Honestly, that ball had so much heat on it. To get the read off the bar to put it in is extremely impressive, and that's the difference right now. Siena Heights are making those goal line reads, whereas ETSU haven't yet found a rhythm out in front of the SHU goal line. So 3-goal buffer for Siena Heights. And really quickly, some housekeeping with the stream. Some people were telling me my mic was quiet. If it's good now, please let me know in Twitch chat, because obviously I only hear myself in my room. I'm not listening to any kind of feedback. And also to answer that question of how you join with your team. If you are a part of a collegiate roster, you want to compete on Monday Night Lights, hit me up on Discord at Mr. Bepic, and we'll talk it through and get you situated either for a show match night or for a tournament bracket night. So hit me up there, and back to the action here as we have just crossed the halfway point of game 1.
Yep, right now, just things have settled down a little bit after that 3-goal flurry from Siena Heights. ETSU is just trying to get back into this thing, just continuing to try and take more midfield control. And now they have it squared away for a second, but that pinch off the back wall from 11 is going to be fantastic and trying to get their offense rolling yet again.
2 minutes left, and ETSU need any kind of catalyst to get on the board here. They're in a tough spot. Landon popping that ball off his ceiling. Adrift is there for the finish, and there you go. Finally, ETSU starting to get a little bit of a rhythm out in front of the net. Great setup by Landon. Even better finish by Adrift.
Yeah, insane pass there to finally get that offense going. And now that they have, there's still plenty of time left to make this comeback happen. So, curious if ETSU can pull this one back and have a real competitive game number 1.
Now they've got the offensive firepower to get back in this game. Just a matter of, do they have that readily available in the game 1 of this best of 5? I don't know what teams' warm-up is like for these kinds of tournaments, if they are scrimming or just playing ranked or just coming in cold. But game 1 still important. ETSU looking like they're getting a little bit better, but Siena Heights have been so good up in the air. That is wonderful from Yanini. Nice setup. Didn't have any teammate there to finish the play, but eventually it works into a shot, and Siena Heights counter what was the first goal for ETSU a second ago.
Yeah, just eventually after all that pressure, all those great touches from Siena Heights, they end up with an open net, and that dunk from 11. Fantastic. These guys just taking turns setting each other up for these goals.
It is good to see that the team plays from Siena Heights working this early on in a tournament where I'm hoping if they do advance from this round 1, they can take it to a UTK that I expect to be joining them in the semifinals. But that's a completely open net that both Landon and Skyline probably could have scored on as they both go up for it. But it's Landon that finds contact.
Yeah, both of those guys definitely in a prime position to knock that win. All they had to do is tap it on net, no goalie in sight. So they get another one back. And with a minute left, I still don't feel comfortable writing them off. But Siena Heights kickoff goal, that is the last thing you want to see if you're ETSU. An instant return goal off of just a kickoff that they had no follow for.
I was with you, though, not wanting to count out ETSU at the end of this game, but just both times, it felt like ETSU was about to get back in this thing. Siena Heights have an immediate answer. That one off a kickoff, and that is not good from East Tennessee. Good shot by 11, but I don't know what happened to Skyline right there. Oh, the double jump.
That's unfortunate, and another kickoff goal goes the way of Siena Heights, and now I think it's more fair to maybe write ETSU out of game 1. But a lot of promise from them, especially offensively. They were still able to get a lot of their offense off. It just took till a little bit too late in the game for the goals to start flowing for them. But hopefully they can carry in that momentum into game number 2 and make the series a close one, as it, honestly, despite the scoreline, kind of feels like it will be, just based on game 1.
I agree with you. There were a lot of mistakes on the ETSU end that were made thanks to Siena Heights looking like they just came into this game a little bit warmer, both mechanically and just fundamentally. They were getting great touches in the offensive end, playing solid defense to set up their offense, and ETSU found ways to try and get back in this game, and if that continues and their defense shores up a little bit, we'll definitely have a closer game too. But Siena Heights, absolutely the better of the two teams so far, and as the final seconds do tick down, I'm looking at scorelines elsewhere, with Tennessee winning game 1 over Florida 5-1 right now, and Davenport took game 1, but only by 1 goal over the Texas Longhorns. So a close game and a blowout to join this kind of game 1 blowout we got on our stream.
Yeah, I think maybe not too surprising. I mean, game 1s are hard to read into, but yeah, Davenport and Texas I kind of thought would be a pretty decent series, so it's good to hear that that is a close game 1. And, you know, Tennessee, like you said, you think UTK will be the team that the winner advances here. I think I would have to agree with that as they look to defend their MNL title.
Yep.
But Siena Heights right now looking in a great spot to do so. They just need to piggyback off that momentum in game 1. They looked so solid in the air. Their midfield control was really good. They continued to find creative ways to set each other up, and hopefully they can do the same in this game for their sake. But ETSU is going to be itching to prove that that game 1 was a fluke. So we're jumping right back into things.
All right, let's see if that game 1 was a fluke. Kickoff won momentarily by ETSU. That was a great bump by the cheater on Siena Heights to clear the zone, get it away. Make sure ETSU don't find an opening opportunity just yet. They are fighting for the ball right now. Skyline gets access to it. He's dangerous mechanically. That's a nice light flick to get to the first challenger, but Fuge on the back end through the corner, doing well for Siena Heights to stop the ball and make sure there are no early chances on target for ETSU. 30 seconds in, looked like they were going to develop one, but creative defense right now from Siena Heights. The chip plays, the bumps on low boost, making good challenges. It looks very good for SHU.
Yeah, they've also been doing a fantastic job of continuing to pressure that backboard, making sure these guys can't get off any of their high-level plays, but there, just a defensive mistake leads to Skyline breaking things up for ETSU right here. Just a light touch, definitely a good fake from him, and 11 just completely thrown off, and the man in net definitely did not expect his teammate to go past that one there. So, ETSU is going to have their first lead of the series here in game number 2.
All right. That was definitely a mistake forced by Skyline's touch. I think they were expecting a harder one. As if they're familiar with Skyline's game, I don't blame them, as he is very lethal when it comes to finishing opportunities. Whoa. But speaking of which, Yanini, the one player on this roster I didn't get to watch the last time Siena Heights was on Monday Night Lights, showing everybody what he's made of.
I can't believe he got a flip off that. That was ridiculous. So low altitude flip reset where I couldn't even tell in the replay how he got all four wheels to that, but creative offense yet again from these guys. And they're right back in things. They do not let a goal go unanswered for much of any time at all, it seems like.
Oh, and they might be adding their one goal, but nice interception. ETSU getting away. Their counterattacks have been good. They get quick shots on target. Make sure you have quick feet in defense when transitioning back, but ETSU right there established themselves in the offensive zone for just a second while Siena Heights was still getting set, forced the miss in the corner. That's 2-1.
Shaping up to be a scrappy game too. Another, I feel like that one a little bit more unforced of an error from Siena Heights, just unable to get that touch off the wall. But let's see if they can, I mean, the kickoffs. This cannot be the part of the game that ETSU is going to end up dropping this series for. They just can't get a kickoff right at the moment, and Siena Heights continues to capitalize on it.
I chalk that up a little bit to ETSU maybe not having a ton of experience playing with each other. I know these guys are friends. They play a lot with one another, but in a competitive setting, outside of LANs, I don't know how much they actually have competed together. And so those kickoff strategies, maybe Siena Heights just a little more seasoned in that department. I'm not sure, but a lot of kickoff goals being conceded by ETSU that they're having to work around in the offensive zone. I mean, they've conceded 2 or 3 kickoff goals that they're trying to make up for on the offensive side, doing a good job of, but if you take away the kickoff goals, these are much closer games.
Yeah, absolutely. But they've still, like you said, managed to make up for it a lot, and right now we're seeing one of those possessions where it feels like only a matter of time, but that's a great clear. Let's see if 11 can hit this one. No, just a little bit off. That would have been a huge goal from them in transition, but leaving the gap still open for ETSU to strike on offense. Their pressure in this half has been so solid all game.
Oh, good touch by 11 right there. Taking that ball, was hard struck, placed it in the opposite corner. Good control. Siena Heights staying layered in defense. The third man picks up a shot towards net. That was kind of dangerous if you're not prepared for it, and turn it immediately into a clear, potentially an ETSU mistake. Land to let that ball leak center, but a drift on the goal line does well. Now upfield looking for a clear, but finds Fuge right in his face. Landed backwards on the goal line. It is sketchy right now for East Tennessee, but at the very least, they haven't conceded just yet.
And they need to keep this one out if they want a chance. I know there's still 2 minutes left, but feels like these guys do not let opportunities go by the wayside too often. That was so close from Skyline to find another goal in this game. And he tries another one there, but the player just getting in his way just enough to throw off that shot. ETSU feel like they're so close to evening this game up 3-3, but the Siena Heights attack still physical as always. Sticking around for a little bit here.
Heights they play so patiently in offense. They can up the speed if they want to, but at the moment they are keeping great control of their offensive zone with good challenges and patient play, hanging back, waiting to see if the chaos that was kind of the ETSU defensive rotation a couple of moments ago unfolds into a mistake, and it didn't following the couple of scary moments we saw, and so Siena Heights, despite the control, will have to back off and retool their offense just a little bit, but I like that pace of play out of Siena Heights, mixing it up just a little bit to keep ETSU on their toes, springing quick counterattacks one way, and then the next possession, it's very slow and methodical, but they didn't yield a goal, so final minute, we're still tied up at 2 apiece.
Yep, and no one scored for quite a while in this game. I thought this one was shaping up to be a pretty high-scoring affair, and so no one yet to break the deadlock. It could be 11, but adrift. Good pinch off the top of his car. And Siena Heights looking to break it here, but instead it should be a counter. Adrift fires one. Easy save for 11 as they go on the attack yet again. More back and forth. No one really has a foothold in mid, so they can't quite keep either of these teams pinned back for now. Nini, though, is going to be the one to try and do that for his team. He might find someone center, but 10 seconds left. Landon has a chance through midair. Fuge has to make a good save. With little time left, it feels like this one is directed for OT, but Adrift has a chance, Bepic. Oh, so close. Just a little bit off target. Now we're in OT in game 2. Wow.
I was holding my breath there, though. Adrift with that kind of space off the back wall is not a nice sight for Siena Heights fans. This isn't either. That ball skipped right out in front of the SHU goal line. That ball going far side. It's collected by Yanini, screaming back on the goal line. Drift, a light shot on target, making sure 11 is awake right there, and he is. But ETSU continuing this attack. Landon, a center ball that will collect. Now Fuge trying to chase the rock down the field, catch up before Drift fields it. Trying to get the pass center down to Landon. Can do. Siena Heights interfering with the majority of what ETSU is trying in offense, but that's a great ball down. Skyline not going to turn until now. It's Adrift taking the next shot. Skyline keeping possession going, but Siena Heights, I don't know how they got out of that.
Yanini has made some massive touches down the line here. He has been incredibly clutch for this team to stay in this game too. And hopefully his team can meet him right there with him as he tries to set up Fuge down low. Siena Heights now has a good chance here. It's Adrift, maybe. A bit awkward on the sidewall. 11 tries to take it over, but he's still in the area. He's got full boost to his name, and it's a pretty decent clearance to get things out for the time being. Landon, though, measures him up, looks for the demo. And these guys just back and forth. At the moment, no one can really break this deadlock. It feels like this could go on forever. But it's going to have to probably be some sort of counter at the moment, because when these teams get locked in defensively, at the moment, they're not making any big mistakes at all.
This is a wonderful chess match between two grandmasters of mechanical ability. Both teams have shown they have incredible ball control when they are on ball. And it's so much fun to watch the defenses have to react to that, get good touches, use one another to clear the zone. I am enjoying this. That net is open, though, but the post denies the initial shot from Adrift. But Skyline is there to clean up East Tennessee, win overtime number 1, game number 2, and level up the series.
And it took us nearly 4 minutes of in-game time to have just one simple mistake. It took so long, but a double at the very end is their undoing. And wow, ETSU a absolute grind to get there. And now they've even the series back up. And all the games count for the same. It doesn't matter if you got blown out in game 1. I bet that feels good to get back on side there.
Absolutely. And to have it finish is kind of a sigh of relief with the net being so open right there. Siena Heights was playing stellar defense, but one double commit in the midfield is what ends up costing them. And that actually led to another one of ETSU's goals, a double commit, 2 players going for the ball. Siena Heights perhaps playing a little bit too quickly at times, but for the most part, pitched a great game. And just, we're up against a really good team in ETSU that could do similar things on the ball and defensively. So it's best of 5. It is heating up right now. I am very happy that I selected this match to be streamed today, because Siena Heights and ETSU are phenomenal matches for each other.
Yeah, it looks like couldn't get any closer, especially after game 2. But I'm curious here if those two teams learned anything about maybe some habits that they couldn't quite tell in game one. They just played each other for just about 7 minutes, so let's see if anyone can take anything they learned from game two and apply it to try and score some quick goals, get a couple easy ones past the other team here as we start things out. The same way that we ended it pretty much, with a little back and forth, but there we go. Landon finds a shot off of an awkward touch on the corner. And ETSU is going to do the same thing they did in game two and go up right away.
That ball just took an unfortunate bounce for Siena Heights. Leaked out center off of Yanini's car. He was just battling in the corner, trying to get a good 50-50, but that's good offense. It's not fancy offense from East Tennessee. It's just good challenge-based offense. They get the ball into a stable position, and they nail their mark. Adrift now an opportunity to do something a little fancier with a corner redirect centered. Landon shot, though, stopped by Fuge. Yanini, though, can't get a car piece on that. 11, though, can on the goal line. Here, a pass out. Maybe interfered with by the defense. Siena Heights under so much pressure right now, but they do stop that flurry of opportunities.
I'm kind of surprised they got out of that one with their lives, as the pressure there was really immense. But now they might put it right back on here as they're dissuaded from anything in the ETSU half as they turn around immediately. They're just getting great touches from their own back inside walls. Siena Heights just doesn't have enough boost when they're stuck in these positions to deal with their cars lingering, and they're getting great touches to find each other's center. But ETSU still unable to find a second goal here as Siena Heights' defense continues to do the most with very little.
That's a double commit. Fuge on low boost. You're right, very little resources. But again, doing well enough to set up 11 for a great 50-50. And send Siena Heights into the offensive zone. Follow it up until it gets back to the midfield line. We'll see if they can keep control here, or if ETSU can keep playing offense. Bulk of this game has been spent on the Siena Heights end. Field domination at 80-20 right now in favor of East Tennessee. They have had so much time spent on that orange side of the pitch, but still only a one-goal game. Siena Heights showing you the value of good defense.
Yeah, and this is probably the longest that Siena Heights has been at a deficit in this entire series. They have been really good at answering these goals so quickly, but ETSU in full control right now of exactly how the momentum is going, and that one leaks past Nini and 11. Good clearance, though. That could have been a little awkward for their team, but maybe some pressure might mount here. That shot is going to be rejected even before it gets near the net in the midfield. Here we go. There's some pressure now. Fuge finds 11 off the post. What a pass and a team play from Siena Heights to get back on the board.
That chip from 11 left it for Fuge, and Fuge laid it right back on 11's doorstep. That's a wonderful passing play out of Siena Heights. You have to be so precise with that kind of play, not just with your touches on the ball, but also the timing of it, to pop it up and not have an East Tennessee player right there ready to intercept it and destroy the whole opportunity. But and the finish as well from Siena Heights was perfect. And really quickly again, results elsewhere. Florida actually has taken a game off of UTK, and now in game 3 with the series tied 1-1, the Gators are up 2-1 over the Volunteers. So an exciting one developing over at UTK Esports. So very curious to see how that one ends. The upset might be brewing.
If there was going to be an upset in the first round, that is not where I thought it was going to happen, but that'd be a pretty incredible result as we still have maybe the most even series out of all of them at the moment here on the mainstream, as these guys just go back and forth. Well, it feels like Siena Heights has had a lot more pressure, though, towards the back half of this game, which obviously led to their first goal and could lead to another one. Is that one just a little bit off target and slowed down, but they're still lingering here. They have a lot more midfield control, and I think now that they've started to get in a bit more of a role rotation-wise, they got more boost, they got more resources, but just such great defense from ETSU. And now 11 trying to hit a psycho. That's a really awkward spot for him. This one floating away. Low boost, but Drift can't find it. Who's going to be able to be the team to break this deadlock? Are we going to have to settle it in OT again?
Ooh.
Oh, just as I say that, so close.
Both teams on their goal line have been coming up with phenomenal stops. The no boost stop from Adrift in a direct 1v1. He just had to get in the way of the shot. Didn't even get a 50-50. It was just a straight up block. And then 11 nearly psychoing it, and now Siena Heights performing again. admirably on their goal line. This is a defensive masterclass from both teams. And I mean, you said closest series out of the 4 of them right now. Texas and Davenport are in a 3.5-minute overtime. Their second OT of this series. This one could go to a second overtime as Adrift missed a potential go-ahead goal. Absurdity on the field right now. Monday Night Lights is going wild at the moment.
Absolutely. And here we go. Maybe the last attempt for Siena Heights this game. He tries to lift it over the defense. This one is on target, but just on the goal line again. A big save from ETSU. And Landon hits it into the ground, and we have an OT in this series as well in game number 3.
My word. Let's see if it goes as long as the Texas and Davenport right now. 3.5 minutes, the time to beat minimum. It's probably still going at the moment. And knowing these two teams, I could honestly see it. How good they've been playing defensively, though. Landon lets that ball slip a little bit, didn't have enough boost to clear the zone from his corner, so just a lobbing clear down the other side that Adrift actually follows up very, very well. This ball out to the other end, try to get another piece of the car on it, but doesn't pan out. Siena Heights, time spent on the ball, but immediately action on their goal line. Foods had to react quick to stop that shot from ETSU. Now Double Demo potentially opening up the net, but Adrift is back in time to put another shot on the Siena Heights goal. Oh no!
Oh, and that's so unfortunate. Adrift, placement over everything here, gets it in just the right spot where Yanini cannot reach it. What a shot from Adrift.
ETSU string together their second game in a row, second overtime win in a row. They are finding ways to come out on top in a very, very close best of 5. And look at those shot numbers. 12 in this game. They had 17 in the previous. And Siena Heights had 9, which is much better than the 4. So I didn't catch how many Fuge had in the last game. But his 2 teammates had 4. So Siena Heights kind of sitting in a limited offense range relative to how much time they are spending in the ETSU zone, while East Tennessee, they are putting shot after shot on the Siena Heights net. To SHU's credit, they are stopping a lot of, but eventually your defense is going to break with that amount of pressure.
Yeah, and it even felt like a tale of two halves in that game because Siena Heights, a lot more pressure that second half, and even in OT, that Eastern Tennessee goal that got them across the line again was a bit of a counter. They just had 2 players underneath the ball in midfield, and just you have to rely on a pretty miraculous clearance, being able to double tap it off your own backboard and having enough boost to do so. And that just unfortunately wasn't the case for Siena Heights in that game. But after a dominant game 1 performance, this series has been incredibly close. Let's see if it follows this same formula in game 4, or can ETSU close things out a bit more confidently? We'll see.
All right. Starting in game 4. I'm still watching the Florida-Tennessee series, by the way. I'm trying to keep my right eye on my other monitor, my left eye on this one, because there's still action in this one as Adrift kicks off the scoring for East Tennessee. Great 50-50 by Skyline, and there just was no follow-up from the Siena Heights defense. So Adrift has shown he can hit shots and nails that one.
Yeah, finding another opportunity there is Adrift. A chance for him to shoot on target, and he's taken every advantage in this game from those shots so far. No one seemingly wanted to pressure that off of the 50-50 ball. And now ETSU is still in a good spot maybe to find this one, but Fuge, good clearance. Yanini's going to meet Adrift in the air here and landed a good read. Not let things get out of control on their back line. And there's Skyline with a good demo. I thought Landon was about to pull off a crazy flick, but Siena Heights more locked in now than they were at the very beginning. Great save from them.
Touch across, find anybody, and if you were wondering, you're not following along on Hooded Mexican's channel, it's a 7.5-minute overtime, Brody. So ours didn't go quite as long as Texas and Davenport. I don't know if I'm supposed to cast right now. Like, this is, oh my word. All right, I'll cast this one. That's a wonderful play. 11 and Yanini combining after Fuge set up the play initially with the pass. Look at this. Dump down back to 11. He redirects it in. That's wonderful.
Yeah, these guys, they have to make these really creative plays because they just don't get any prolonged offense. ETSU is so good at clearing the ball for them. But when they have the opportunity to make these passing plays, they have shown up right now. And there we go, back to even. Siena Heights not letting things get out of hand here for the moment. But Yanini having to clear it off his own backboard yet again. There's been so much pressure on that backboard this entire series. ETSU loves a good bit of aerial offense to continue.
Siena
Oh, what a
Heights.
touch from Yanini.
I love the aerial attack of Siena Heights as well, though, which is why I was getting so excited on that play. As they started off this series so dominant in the aerospace, it's how they found a majority of their goals. But ETSU, you're right, they have matched them since that game 1. And I'm guessing that was just a warm-up game for East Tennessee, in all honesty, because they have looked phenomenal since, though that is an opening for Fuge. They won't be able to spin around on and get a shot off, but man, ETSU playing it close to the chest at the moment, allowing Siena Heights room to work with in their offensive zone, but stopping everything. That one included Fuji's shot denied by the post. ETSU hold on.
No way. They were able to dissuade all that pressure, and there's still more, but adrift from across his own net. Great save again. That goal line save was ridiculous, considering the caliber of that dunk from 11. It's crazy that these guys are able to hold on for this long. Despite all this Siena Heights attack, and it's just still happening. No matter what, they just can't get rid of them for now, and eventually, Yanini is able to break this ETSU defense. That was probably the longest attack we have seen Siena Heights have all series, and just unrelenting. I can't believe the ETSU was able to even last that long.
It's a testament to the quality of the defenses, and right there, ETSU, but it's also a testament to the quality of the offenses on both sides of the ball. Siena Heights finishing off that long stint of offense well. Landon nearly answering immediately, though. ETSU now a chance to set up their offensive pressure on that orange end of the pitch. A little lobber from Skyline. He'll follow himself. Landon to shoot, going far side. Gets it around Yanini, but not the post. That was a slim margin for error, and Landon just a little bit of error. The ball does stay in the Siena Heights end a little bit longer, but they counterattack immediately. Yanini, their second goal of the game, and it's a 2-goal buffer now for Siena Heights.
This one just off the back of a counter. Just a great flick from Yanini. Catches the second man off guard, and Siena Heights now in control. It's been a minute since it feels like they've had any say in these games, but right now, a 2-goal buffer. Just about 90 seconds to go. Can they hold on and force a game 5?
It's a good start at the very least. Well, not anymore. Landon closing down quickly upon 11 in the midfield. Fuge puts that over Skyline's head. A well-placed clear, and the follow-up wonderful as well. Ground pinch on target. Drift was there, made the read, and now Landon and Skyline combining for an open net opportunity missed. Oh dear. ETSU missing a massive opportunity. They are still going in the offensive zone. This is so awkward. 6 cars within a meter of each other. But Siena Heights get out, and they show ETSU how to hit an open net. We might be seeing game 5.
Heartbreak on the goal line. That is a tilter of a missed opportunity, and now Siena Heights gets to walk this one home. Man, that is so tough for Eastern Tennessee. They just couldn't find the open net. This is the first time I feel like they've really missed any sort of opportunity on the offensive side in any of these games so far. They've looked so solid. And there we go, Skyline, though. They're not going to go down without a fight, that's for sure, but a lot of odds to overcome as only 45 seconds remain, and they still got to score 3 goals to get back into this one.
And this 4th game reminds me a lot of the first game in this series, with Siena Heights controlling possession a little bit more than East Tennessee, spending long periods of time on the ETSU half, and then East Tennessee, when they do get opportunities to get out, they miss them. I mean, that's a double tap that I would trust Skyline to hit most times, but still, it's difficult, and ETSU, they can hit those, but all right, getting one back, 19 seconds left, at least having a go at this comeback, but 2 goals in 20 seconds is going to be difficult even for ETSU.
Yeah, that goal probably won't move the needle this game, but that's good confidence. The net isn't closed. You guys can still rack up the goals when your offense is clicking. They need to be reminded of that going into Game 5, because this series seems like it's far from over, and we're in store for at least one more incredibly close game. I'm sure of it.
All right, and real quick, with 10 seconds left, Siena Heights have sealed this. Remember that overtime in Game 3 of the Texas and Davenport series? It just finished. It went 10 minutes, and Texas was able to come out on top of it.
That is absurd. I guess that's karma for me saying that we have the closest series of the first round, because it doesn't get any closer than that. That's impossible to beat. So, such an interesting series down there. But we got a game 5. How is any of the other series shaking up? Do you have any info?
Florida and Tennessee are also in Game 5 right now. That's being played out on the UTK Esports channel, with Florida a 1-goal lead with 3 minutes left. And I don't know how Brewton-Parker and King are looking right now. I'll check the results tab. Okay, it was a sweep for King. So that's a 3-0. Wow. The rest of these series, though, insanely close.
Well, King is able to wrap things up easily for them, but the rest of the bracket struggling in this first round to separate themselves from each other. I'm curious how King feels about that, you know? Maybe even less warmed up than these guys playing out these long, grueling series.
Yeah, I'm not entirely surprised about that. King is a very good roster, but the last time they played a Brewton-Parker team, even a BPC team without antics, they got swept, I believe. It was a 3-0 at the SEL LAN. So I don't know what it is about the Barons having King's number, but that's going to continue, because they've now lost 6 straight games to Brewton-Parker. But elsewhere...
Oh, I thought you said King. Sorry, I got that backwards.
No, yeah, Brewton-Parker swept them. My bad.
Gotcha.
But, all right, Game 5. I'll try to focus on this series for longer than I have been, as ETSU have the opening opportunity, slowed down by Fuge, and ultimately stopped by 11. Siena Heights, more good defense.
And that might end up being a pretty crucial play, because I can't believe that one didn't go in for ETSU, but not often do you have to make such a important play in the first 3 seconds of a game, but Fuge there getting a huge save early. As now the ETSU pressure is going to mount again. These guys want to do what has worked best for them, and that is controlling things offensively, controlling the midfield. But this is going to be tough if he gets this read. 11, huge read off the corner roll-up to get this one in for Siena Heights. They take an early lead here in Game 5.
So confident from 11. Oh my word. I didn't have much boost, but dunked the midfield presence of ETSU, and then full confidence read that ball sliding up the back wall and into the back right corner. But all right, good response by ETSU. Another counter found. It's just straight off kickoff as Adrift fields it and has room to finish.
Slugfest loading. Game 5 is about to get real good here. Early goals for both teams, and ETSU finally figured out their kickoffs as Adrift was able to make a huge play there. And they almost scored the kickoff immediately as well, so ETSU changing things up. It feels like the pace of play has increased just a little bit here for both squads, as they want this first series real bad.
Well, it's looking like the winner of this first series will be matching up with the Florida Gators in the semifinals, as they have a 3-0 lead with 1 minute left in Game 5 over there, which is insanity. But this game still providing insanity, a much closer level. Closest Game 5 going on at the moment. 11, good flick. Can't get it over Landon, though. ETSU slow the attack of Siena Heights, which will keep going, but ETSU cars all over the place.
Yeah, and here we go. Another passing play loading for these guys. Just a little bit too high, but the pressure is still around. Fuge has to turn with low boost. He's going to find Yanini. He's going to take this one even deeper into the corner and look for a physical play. And I thought that touch could have been tough for 11 to read, but either way, this guy feels like he can read absolutely everything, as they're able to find a second goal here off of a very unorthodox play from Yanini.
Yeah, diving for Skyline there on the back wall. I don't know if he was going for a bumper, or if he even got it, honestly. But I think it interrupted Skyline's timing enough where he couldn't jump off the back wall and read the ball with how quickly he was moving through the corner. So, unorthodox, yes, but it works. Siena Heights find themselves a lead in Game 5. They look to add to it, but just can't hold on that pass across the ETSU goal line. And so, Siena Heights backing off. ETSU an opportunity by way of Landon. Double tap, no good. Great stop by 11.
He can't stop. It's just his gift. He can read absolutely everything that's about to happen right now. 11 continuing to be huge for Siena Heights, as I thought he might get that double tap as well. But still, Siena Heights have the lead at the moment. They're still looking real confident offensively. I'm curious if they're going to be able to extend it, or is ETSU going to answer things and make it a lot more even of a Game 5 than we saw in a Game 4. Landon's up. Could be a good pass. Yanini has to meet him there, and it's cleared for now.
He's going to track it down, and right now for Siena Heights, that would be the player I want to see on the ball. Yanini has been taking over at times in this series, and obviously Siena Heights playing around each other very well. The passing plays they've been putting together have been phenomenal, but I'm enthralled with what Yanini has done on the ball throughout this best of 5. But still, Siena Heights only a 1-goal lead, and ETSU fighting from behind will flip the field. Adrift, though, can't read that off the back wall, and ETSU missed an opportunity there.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know if he even knew how open that net would be for him, but instead ETSU still has to find this tying goal in a different way. It's a great clear from 11. There's Skyline. Maybe a little quiet in the last couple games, but he's definitely one to pop off here in just a minute, surely, especially if ETSU still has something to say in this game. We're down to 90 seconds remaining, and ETSU finally have some life in Siena. Heights is half of the field. That one so close yet again, and they got to stop Foods from clearing this. And they do.
Heart attacks.
Oh, man, it's so close.
Heart attacks for Siena Heights fans on the goal line. Again, it's so close for ETSU, but they can't find the shot to go. Yanini, 70 boost, awkward off the back wall. Skyline will pop it up. Adrift will extend, but Fuge, the last man back for SHU, will get the ball away over the midfield line and deeper into ETSU territory than Siena Heights has been in a while. Final minute of Game 5. Thank you for the raid, UTK Esports. I'm sorry about the upset, but okay, Siena Heights not interested in any kind of upset seeding-wise, as they are now up by 2 goals with 45 on the clock.
Wow, Fuge, huge goal here, 3-1. Siena Heights just making the most of every opportunity they're presented in this game. Looks like with 44 seconds left, ETSU needs a huge shift, but no, not again. The kickoffs continuing to be their demise, as in this case, just a great follow-up from Fuge. And a last-second realization that if he turns here, he's got a chance. Just huge heads-up play from him, and now Siena Heights looks like they got this one wrapped up.
Yeah, ATSU, they've got a cannon of an offense, but 3 goals in 40 seconds might be a little bit too much with the answering ability Siena Heights has shown throughout this series. So we'll see what they can do. Starting in the defensive zone, there's a passing play to get out, and that ball, if it was on target, it was in. Fuge still last back. Will make a good read on the goal line, and that, I feel like, is the final nail in the coffin for ETSU. A phenomenal series in I don't know if this is their official debut as a roster under the ETSU banner, but they looked very, very good, and I'm extremely excited to see what they can bring this upcoming season.
They have shown so much promise in the series, and maybe it's just that slight experience factor that doesn't quite bring them a line in this series specifically. But they look really, really excellent. It's a tough Siena Heights team that absolutely brought it to that day.
They look good all around. I can't wait to see Siena Heights in the next round. They will be playing in the next semifinal on stream. That will be a best of 7 between them and the Florida Gators. Hammy Crackers making his official debut with that roster, and they upset UTK in their first series. So an impressive result over there. Siena Heights, an impressive one here. That is just 2 high-speed trains that'll be connecting in the next semifinal, Brody. I'm excited to see that one.
Oh, for sure. I mean, a lot of good stuff lined up. I don't even the Texas series is definitely not over yet as well, so we don't even know what our second semifinal is going to be. But the fact that we're going to have a new champion is always something to stay tuned and be excited. Tough upset.
No kidding. I knew that roster would go through some growing pains. I mean, the Tennessee roster of this past semester, integrating Crisp, did the same thing, where they were favorites going into lands to win. And I remember the Bluegrass Boost battle. I know Akron was the full favorite there, but you expected Tennessee in that grand final with them, and they lose completely unexpectedly before even getting to the grand finals. And so I remember them talking to me about that, saying that loss is what sparked them to start taking things a little more seriously and actually lock in for the rest of the season. And I mean, 2 three land wins, sorry, under their belts after that. Monday Night Lights tournament win last Monday as well. A lot of teams figuring things out kind of at the moment during the summer portion of the season, because some teams are completely fresh. I mean, with Hammy Crackers entering the Florida roster, that's a new look team. Brewton-Parker and King both similar rosters from last semester. BPC still looking good, Brody. I know you're happy about your Georgia boys doing well.
Yeah, I mean, I heard you wrong at the beginning, so I thought King won, but BPC made it last week all the way, right? They were in the finals, so
Yep.
Now they don't have UTK staring them down at the end of that one, so I'm curious if their confidence levels have gone up a little bit, but excited to watch the rest, and thank you for having me. Appreciate being back, so good luck with the rest of the tournament, and I'll hand it over to you.
I appreciate it, Brody. Thanks for joining me. We are going to go to a short break, but Aviator, I saw that 12-minute overtime. That is absolutely insane. I cannot wait to watch you guys in the semifinals. Give me another OT. You gave Hooded one. I'd like to see one as well in a little bit, as it is Siena Heights versus Florida coming up in a little bit. It's like a short break, but hopefully it is very, very short. I want to give you even more insane action on this fine Monday night. So thank you for joining me for the first one, and we'll be back in just about 5 minutes time. See you there. Welcome back to Monday Night Lights. We have had an insane night so far, and that was only round 1. We had UTK get eliminated in Game 5. We had another Game 5 on the mainstream, Siena Heights taking down ETSU. We had a freaking 12-minute overtime between Texas and Davenport. Taquito, thanks for joining me, first of all. Have you been weathering the insanity okay?
I think so, man. Hearing the 12-minute overtime, I fear that we missed out on what would be called a banger,
Yeah.
Mr. Bepic.
I know, I almost chose, well, there were a lot of round 1 series tonight that I was thinking about choosing for the mainstream, and I went with the classic 4 seed versus the 5 seed, because I knew it would be close, and it was, went to Game 5, but the 3 and the 6 seed, Texas and Davenport, give us the 12-minute OT, and then Florida decides as the 8 seed, Hammy Crackers has never played with this roster before, to upset Tennessee, so you really couldn't go wrong with the series tonight, except Brewton-Parker versus King. Unfortunately, the Barons did sweep King over there, so they're gonna hold off for a second, play Texas on stream later on, but man, has it been a crazy night.
I mean, it's something that seems to be a regular trend with these university/college teams. The 8 seed seems to just beat the 1st seed. It happened when we did that 64-man bracket before all this started.
Yeah.
It's happened a couple times on MNL. I mean, it's kind of what's a trend. The guys who happen to be 8 seed, if you're the 1st seed, well, sorry, the script writes itself. I don't know what to tell you guys.
I don't know. Upsets abound in Collegiate Rocket League. We're no strangers to insane results if you do follow the CRL space. And, I mean, Monday Night Lights has been insane as ever tonight. But I'm excited for this one. I was not expecting Siena Heights versus Florida, but I was disappointed. Originally thinking Tennessee was going to beat Florida, that I wouldn't get to see Hammy Crackers playing with his new team for the upcoming season. But hey, now I get to see it. Hammy, formerly at FAU, is now going to the University of Florida for this upcoming school year, and we all know how good Hammy Crackers is. Larry and Kyan have been 2 players that I have loved watching since I got to meet them at the beginning of this past school year. So this is just an exciting Florida Gators team that I'm very happy that UTK graciously let me watch in this first semifinal.
Hey, it's always good to have permission and have things on your own stream, right? Like
Yeah.
it's always the best thing when someone else gives you the permission to have this ability to see a beautiful match here. And what we do have is obviously this upset team over here taking on what would be, I mean, it's a storied player in Hammy Crackers.
Yeah.
Hammy Crackers been around for quite some time, so seeing this player pop up on a new squad with Larry and Kyan is going to be very interesting. But I am here for more upsets. I'm here for the bottom seed run, if you will, what could be called the Cinderella. We've kicked off 5 minutes on the clock, counting down, my friend. It's game number 1 of a best of 7, correct?
Yep, best of 7 in the semifinals. Fast start already in game 1 with Florida getting off to the races, and you have to get back in defense to stop the Siena Heights initial attack of the game. But yeah, best of 7. So that's the format for the rest of the tournament. Both semis and grands will be full best of 7s. And you mentioned Florida being the 8th seed. That was arbitrarily seeded by me. I was thinking, okay, UF's never played a tournament with this version of the roster, with True Raid in. They weren't super great last season. They weren't bad, but they weren't great. And so I figured I'll put them in the 8th seed. They probably lose to Tennessee, and that's that for their debut. But all right, we get an 8th seed run tonight, apparently.
That's what we need, but Fuge is going to be the one who starts us off. 1 minute 2 seconds into game number 1. That soft touch from Hammy, not exactly away from the net as they wanted, more so into the hands of an opponent. They will rack us up for the first goal this series. Now, my question to you is this. Like you said, because I remember the Florida squad, when you said True Raid, that's when I locked in. I was like, who's the player I'm forgetting about? It's True Raid. And I feel like it should kind of be an upgrade, no shade to True Raid. It should be an upgrade over with Hammy Crackers, right? I mean, because given the results the player had, you know what I mean?
I think True Raid would say the same exact thing.
I feel you, but noticing the result that we've got on the Siena Heights side, these boys came to play, and I'm finally glad that Yanini put it in the chat. It's like Panini with a Y.
Yep, that's how you pronounce it. I'm glad, because I kind of guessed when I was casting the first series, but I guessed correctly, fortunately, which is always 50-50 when you're casting a player. You're not sure how to pronounce it if you get it right or wrong, but that is how you pronounce it, and I'm glad because I called Yanini's name a lot in the last series against East Tennessee. He looked so good against ETSU, was setting up the rest of his teammates a lot, and the entire roster of Siena Heights looked phenomenal. Yanini just stood out to me because I hadn't gotten to watch them play before, but their ability on the ball was astounding.
I was seeing 11's name pop up quite frequently as well. Not so much from Fuge. I think I saw Fuge playing that staunch third, that cleanup player, the person who was in the right position at all the proper moments. So I like how you kind of spotlight Yanini there. On the squad, though, so far, who are we looking to maybe fight against this Gators squad? Are we going to rely on Yanini's skill like in that ETSU game, or do you think somebody else steps into the spotlight?
Oh, it's the full team. But Yanini's taking the spotlight so far. I don't think that's an answer to your question. Yanini's just being brilliant at the perfect time to try and answer your question. SHU is going to have to be on point all around, but oh my word, Yanini, that was filthy.
That was absolutely amazing play right there. They're up by 2 now, 2-0 to the side of blue. The Gators better get to chomping because right now you've already passed halftime. You've got no real good look at your opponent's net here. This is the first one. Wait. How did it sneak in? Did Larry just have some magical negative angle here? What happened?
Yeah.
Oh my lord.
But,
little help.
Just a little bit. It was a good attempt on net. You have to respect that if you're Siena Heights and you're not expecting that extra little touch that Larry got to put it center, so I can't really blame the own goal right there, but it is still tough. They'll have to respond immediately, and who better than Yanini to put in their second goal of the game, set up by 11 with great corner control, but great finish by Yanini.
Again, it's just one of those things where being in the right place at the right time is always going to benefit you as a player. And I think the offense that we have seen right now from Siena Heights has been extremely good this specific game one. But we all know game ones and best of sevens is always the appetizer round. It's the feeler. You got to see what you can get away with and what you can't get away with. So hopefully on the side of Orange, the download doesn't happen too quickly for the Gators. If it does, though, we're going to see a completely different blue team game number 2.
Larry has space, has always been dangerous in the air. They have really got such a mechanically gifted roster. I was always a fan of watching Florida's offense work, but with Hammy Crackers in, and True Raid's not benched or anything, he will be a third man for Florida this season. I wanted to bring up that point earlier. Hammy won't play in every single series as he starts his academic career at Florida, but True Raid's still a part of it. Emmy just playing in this tournament, and I imagine the big ones that Florida will get to with how stacked a roster they have now. But that's a great bump, requiring brilliance that does not come from the Gators on their goal line. And Yanini puts in the 4th.
They're having a bit of fun. I mean, yeah, that was kind of silly. I have to agree. Yeah, there you go. There it is. I got to agree with the side of Siena Heights there in the chat. That was a bit goofy, as they might say. A little bit of a potato league there in a quick brief second. That ball getting launched outfield. Larry is the only defender that we see holding down the Gator line. Can we see something happen here? Maybe a miracle for the side of Florida, but right now, Cayenne with no boost is not going to be able to work much with the ball on possession. And again, they seem to get locked down in their final third here, specifically the goal line as well. That's a good ceiling pitch. Gracefully goes off the post for Larry right there. It turns into a great clear, but I feel like Florida's lacking a bit of offense this game. Maybe they step it up in these last few seconds to give them some hope, but it's not looking good.
I mean, you want numbers to back that up. That is only the 5th shot on target this game for Florida, and they've spent 65% of the game with the ball in their defensive half. So you're absolutely spot on. Florida have not had many opportunities. They started off the game with a wicked chance on target that Siena Heights saved, And right after that, SHU got right down to business, and they limited what I was expecting to be a high-flying, very, very good Florida roster. But again, I've talked about growing pains when talking about the Tennessee roster and losing their opening best-of-5 of this tournament. Florida, I expect to see growing pains at some point. And right there, I mean, 4-1, Siena Heights absolutely looking on point in Game 1.
I mean, they come off a good win. They come off an upset win right there, right? Like Siena Heights was a little bit of a lower seed going into that first series, if I'm not mistaken.
They were the higher seed, but you know
they were the higher
seeding
seed. Okay,
is arbitrary. From like it's just
Sure. But statistics don't lie sometimes. You know, sometimes they do give us a little bit of a prequel to the story. So it's nice to see that they do get a close game win and continue that momentum here into this series so far. A 4-1 victory for game number 1 right now. It is looking good on the side of orange, but the Gators are going to have to step up here at the beginning of game number 2. 5 on the clock. Bepic, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking I need time. I need time in this series. There's a reason I love best of 7s. There's plenty of time for adjustments, and UF, I want to see how they adjust, how they get more time in the offensive zone, how they work a little better on their defensive side, but that is wicked. I first of all don't know how you defend against that shot from Yanini. Florida is very lucky that was off target, but we got to see some better possession control, and give that man some more shots on target. Hammy Crackers, a nice flick on, but Vooch, better stop on the goal line.
Larry, nice bit of possession there. Unfortunately, lost it over to Fuge, but gets right back into the play just immediately with that speed. Larry has always been an extremely quick player when in awkward positions, but unfortunately that ball is fed out to 11, who knocks down goal number 1 right underneath the crossbar. And I'll parrot your statement with a different name. How do you block a shot like that from 11?
I mean, that has to come with Larry not getting demoed. He's got to realize there's a player behind him and dump off the ball sooner. Because once that demo happened, Kyan didn't have enough boost to stop a missile like that on target, and Hammy was out of position. So that's Siena Heights absolutely creating that opportunity and ultimately goal. But Florida, they are being put in tough positions to defend at the moment. They're going to have to get creative when it comes to slowing down this SHU offense that is firing on absolutely all cylinders right now. Good demo by Hammy to slow down, potentially. Siena Heights find it clear, steal some boost. All right, maybe the Gators have a chance here.
Off the back wall, Larry could get that all-important second touch. No one home,
wow.
And Fuge is going to capitalize. Hammy, I see the rotation. I saw what you were trying to do. Felt like it was a little bit wide, but obviously you think your teammates have some threatening, defensive answer to the offense on transition. However, this Siena Heights, let's just call it what it is, brother. They shoot and they don't miss.
Not at the moment, that is for sure. Even in the This Is Rocket League moments earlier, when everyone was kind of flailing at the ball, they still found a way to turn that into a goal. Siena Heights, there's a reason. They were flirting with the top 48 in colleagues poll all throughout last season. They are a solid roster. Right now, making a Florida that just beat Tennessee. A little foolish here. And that is another opportunity stop. Good save on the goal line. Siena Heights continuing to work defensively. And on the offensive side of the ball, there was no boost for a moment for UF as Kyan, Larry, and Hammy all had low boost. But Larry and Hammy fuel up. They look to find a way out, but can't do it just yet.
I like Fuge hanging around the play right there, looking for that possession. I know it's not the best, but look at the opportunity it created. Fuge, in what could be considered kind of a no man's land area, just watching the play develop and that trust in your teammates to make a 50, make a breakaway option for you to cut through, and as a player knowing to just go ahead and take that possession. The comms are on fire. We see another almost on kickoff right there. Good for Larry to get a hand up on it, but I mean, the Gators are looking shut down right now.
Siena Heights is just too good at the moment. Far too good. On both sides of the ball, that was consistent in the previous series against East Tennessee. They stepped up big time when they had to. Even the games that they lost, as that did go to Game 5, were 2 overtime losses where ETSU were matching the pace and the ability on the ball that Siena Heights were throwing at them. So that was more credit to ETSU stepping up. Here, Siena Heights have kept that form, and with 2 minutes left in game 2. They're looking poised to take a 2-0 series lead. Florida trying to battle back, but SHU just haven't downloaded.
I would say, yeah, you are right in that SHU has the download currently on the Gators. These 50s are looking threatening, though. Hammy does need to try to take a shot. Kyan, the last defender. Larry races down, gets there in time. However, there's just no advantageous turn for the side of blue this series. When they go back to defense, they always end up, well, not scoring is what I was going to say, but they managed to score there. What did they just? Oh, they just parked the bus. Fooge, that's the first time I've seen you with cement in your tires. What's going on, brother?
All right, I'll forgive one time, like, because Fooge has been so good on the goal line for Siena Heights, but right there, that was finally a play to prove to us that there are not robots playing Rocket League for Siena Heights. They're still humans. They will make mistakes, and Florida kind of get lucky with that one, but hey, it's a goal to cut the lead to 2. And in the final minute 15 of this game, they are more than capable of making this comeback happen. But they have to make sure they are playing flawless Rocket League again to get through Siena Heights, because that was the one mistake SHU was going to make.
Absolutely was the one they're going to make, and the one they got gifted. Let's be completely honest. Let's not discredit this orange squad. Absolutely rocketed on the pitch this evening. Hammy down to Larry, looking for a pass. Sadly, no boost there either. I like that Hammy gets up, but unfortunately nothing was going to come from that. The passing play could have happened. No connection on the shot, unfortunately, and Hammy has decided to cut back and send the ball back for a little bit more possession on the side of Gators. I like both the 50s there from Larry. Unfortunately, couldn't go through, and that demo could not have been more perfectly timed.
Don't know how. I don't know how Siena Heights keeps timing these plays so perfectly. Florida was gaining steam there. They were getting more space in offense, looking more confident in the air on the ball, but when he shuts that play down, it's a flip reset off 50-50 as well to just get back in defense sooner and then create space for his teammates to put together a great demo play, great finish as well. It's wonderful, wonderful Rocket League from Siena Heights at the moment. And Hammy, opportunity now, but that's saved by 11. That one deflected by Fooge, and Siena Heights have locked down game 2.
They've absolutely locked down game 2. Same score line as well. It is the parrot from game number 1. They decided they liked 5 goals only on the scoreboard, with them holding 4 of them. Looking for the 5th right here as the ball continues to stay up and off the ground, but finally we touch down for the end. It is 4-1 yet again. The side of orange, SHU win.
And the shots kind of similar to game number 1. Siena Heights a little more efficient in this game. Florida, they were held to 5 shots in game 1, 6 right here. Larry has 84 points. That shows you just how much the Gators have been manhandled by Siena Heights on both ends of the pitch. I don't know how to keep rephrasing it, but SHU, I'm just enamored with their creativity all around the field, their ability in defense to then create immediate offense, and their ability to create creative offense and not go for the same thing over and over again. It's very fun to watch.
It's insanely fun. This series has been just happened very quickly so far, in my opinion. Bepic, it is not been the drawn-out series I thought we would see, though. Winning game number 3 for the side of the Gators would be a nice change of pace to at least show us there's some life over here for the side of Florida. But right now, it is, again, you've got to stand up to the task. You've scored 2 goals in 10 minutes of Rocket League to your opponent's 8. You've been outshot by, what, dang near 20 shots on net. I mean, good lord.
They've been outshot by 9 total, but they've given up 20 on target.
Okay, that's what it was. That's what it was. Okay.
And that's what's made the scoreline so one-sided. Because you are executing at the moment. And again, an opportunity as Hammy Crackers gets very much dunked on the sideline. But he needs a great touch. Fooge was zoning off the UF attack, and that'll buy enough time to slow it down. But eventually, Siena Heights will concede. Florida, great counterattack right there. Had a man advantage, had a boost advantage, and they finally execute. And that's their first lead of the series.
I cannot believe that Florida is up for the first time in game number 3. Maybe the statement is true, my friend. Third time might quite literally be the charm. 11 with boost, with possession off the back wall. Will be saved. Kyan floating around with, now 0 boost. Basically had 0. That's a way to refuel right there. Nice boost off of Spawn. Looking for the block. Hammy with the clear. Larry with the demo. All three working in tandem here. Do we see a goal from it? Kyan floating awkwardly. Will not find the shot. Possession just traded hands for a brief moment, but we know Siena Heights is not going to let him get away with it that easy.
Hammy off the sidewall. We know how dangerous he can be. We'll stop Fuge, but he jumped as well. And so Siena Heights now have an odd man rush the other way. Yini passing center. Hammy can't make contact, but neither does Fuge. It's a good read defensively by Florida. Didn't quite pan out, so they have to play a little bit of panic defense there, but they will clear the zone momentarily. Hammy going up low on boost, so all he can do is just plug that ball into Siena Heights territory.
Out of corner here. Good touch possibility. Fuge isn't going to get it far away. Not a big enough clear. Hammy with possession goes for the flip reset, but Yanini says absolutely not. You're not going to do that on my head. No, sir. You guys got one, and it was a gift. Cherish it while you can, because that was the past. This is the present.
Hammy out to the side. Hammy Crackers on it. The pinch goes center. Larry, a drop down ball. I kind of see what was developing. Florida maybe trying to link up with one another to get some quick offense, but again, doesn't pan out. Siena Heights too good defensively. 11 will flick on target. Yanini turning, passing center. Kyan is dead to rights. Wonderful play from Siena Heights to get them level up in game 3.
I like what Kyan tried to do. I like that Kyan went for what should have been the obvious passing recipient right there. Went for the bump, but was chased completely off position when no one else was there to help out. So that is a wonderful play developed there for Siena Heights to get them goal number 1. Hammy now possession in the midfield. 11 trying to shut it down. Good challenge, but I do believe Kyan got the better of it. Hammy can't get up in time. Yanini off the pretty much the back wall. Fuge, I love the heart in the play, but you're crazy for jumping last week for that pass.
And he still got Hammy. Like he didn't get the ball, sure. That's a tough pass to field, but he bumped Hammy off the ball in the midfield. That's the second place prize, honestly, in that kind of play. So then I get doing wild things. Fuge ready for that shot from Hammy, and the rebound from Larry is suboptimal. Goes off to the side and is weak and easily collected out of Siena Heights. 11 dribbling the other way, going back wall. 11 slams home a go-ahead goal. Siena Heights back out in front.
I think I need to get some pep, though. That was sick. Oh, from the transition off the back line. Oh, that was wonderful. Way to take the lead right there, Siena Heights. Can we get another one here, though, for Florida? We want to get something on the side of blue. I mean, give us a series. You guys took the lead, you held it for a bit, and now you've lost it once again. Kyan looking to secure at least a tying point. Larry is up. Larry is shooting on a slightly open net. The defender, I believe, was bumped out of the way up higher on the back wall, so that'll at least put the Gators within sight to try to win game number 3, but sadly they're only tied.
Still, tied up is much better than down, I think, 4-1 the first 2 games around this point is what Siena Heights was leading by, at the very least 3-1, as they had tended to run away with the opening couple of games by this point in them. So 2-2, Florida will take, but they gotta be careful here. Yanini out to the side will cut very quickly. That bounce perfect though, so try to get the ball to Food, and it's not the greatest of passes. Still, they made Florida have to work for that clear. Creative touch from Hammy Crackers, the skim to get the ball away, and now, again, required in defense. He's the last man back, but there he cuts rotation, slows down the play. Siena Heights biding their time, but Florida solid for now. I don't like the double commit, though.
Neither. What a stretch for Hammy. Right on the goal line. Oh my gosh! Can we get Kyan or Larry a raise? How did both of them defend that? They both got a chance to get that ball out. Nice pass up off the back wall. Do we see it develop? Hammy Crackers, the save from 11. We've got a little bit longer. 0 seconds have hit the clock, and they should. Oh, Larry, let it drop. Larry, give yourself some grace. Go for OT. What are you doing right here? Don't go for the win. What is
Still
going
up.
on?
Kyan's up as well now. Drop down to Hammy. That ball will stay center, and now we got to ground it. There's no way it stays up, right? Okay. All right, I was in the same boat with you, Taquito. I thought Larry was crazy for keeping that ball in the air in his defensive third. But it pans out. They get an opportunity, but 11 is not going to miss that. Off kickoff. That's the winner for Siena Heights, and it's a best of 7. So they have not won the series just yet, despite the GGs.
Oh. They're hot.
Yeah.
You gotta feed the hot hand. I mean, you just gotta feed the hot hand. That's what happens here in a series like this. And I mean, I can't tell you who is the hot hand on Siena Heights. They're all three just putting in massive amounts of work, and each of them, I think, has been the key reason they've won a singular, like each one of these games. Florida, though, looking so much better.
Yeah.
I think the big mistake right there, and I saw it right on kickoff, when Larry decided not to go for the ball and went for the boost instead. I think that was the big mistake. Any opportunity at the ball to at least force possession going one way or the other should have been what Florida have done. Again, y'all are higher ranked than me. You know this game better than I do. I'm just here to yap about it.
And I think it's those small mistakes that you expect from a roster making its competitive debut. Like I said, when I talked to True Raid and extended the invitation to Florida for this event, he said that Hammy had not yet played with this team, and they might have scrimped since then. It was several days ago that they got the invitation, but at least in a competitive event, this is Florida's first time playing together, so there are going to be minor mistakes like that. And I guess, I don't know, Tennessee must not have punished those minor mistakes that were happening, or they didn't come in the first series, because Siena Heights punishing every single opening that is given to them. Larry doubling that accidentally, punished. Forcing him to jump looks silly again, punished. 1-0 Siena Heights.
I mean, what happens when you commit a crime, my friend? You get punished. The crime there was having not solid defense. I love this Florida team, but like, lock down. Lock down. You guys are on defense pretty often through this series. Your offense isn't horrible. It's been better actually as the series has progressed. So lock down on your final third, and then also give yourself that afforded opportunity to transition into offense properly. But I mean, when you're playing against a team like Siena Heights, who's just gonna literally sauce your entire just approaching team, all right, Bepic, I'm done. You got it.
That was sauce, though. 11 timed that flick so perfectly, and then Larry was still rotating back. Siena Heights there looking poised to take our first grand final spot of the evening. Try and take that winner-take-all $60 prize. And I mean, they look the part of the top team in this bracket. They feel confident right now. You can see it in the car language. Giannini jumping up right there when not even close to the ball. It's a miss from Fuge, trying to get the ball to 11. But regardless, Siena Heights getting back in transition and stopping Florida.
They got to connect on those two. That was a great pass right in front of the goal line. I feel like they would have actually secured a shot at the bare minimum. Kyan, another slow pass over to Larry. Back to Kyan. Shot is deflected wide. Kyan, unfortunately, missing their opportunity. We go wrap around the corner again. Larry looking for a challenge. Can't find it. They have to race back here. Hammy with no boost, finally grabs a pad. Larry's up. Giannini is shutting it down right there in the mid. And just, is this team the midfield menace? Is that what we're going to call them? Because that seems to be where they're winning all these opportunities at, including the goal line. So which side of the pitch are they good on? Which side are they bad on? Where are the mistakes that Siena Heights is truly making?
Well, the answer to the first question is that yes, I would call them midfield menaces. I'd also call them front field and backfield menaces, because the answer to your next question is they're good on all sides of the field. I have been so impressed by Siena Heights throughout the 2 series of watching them, and I've gotten word from Mama 11 in chat, who I can only assume is the mother of 11 on the field, that this is the first event for this iteration of Siena Heights, with Yanini taking the place. I think it was Benbow, the third for Siena Heights the last time I watched them. But I know 11 and Fuge are used to playing with each other, but Yanini has come in and slotted into this roster and looked wonderful in doing so.
100% agree right there. They have looked insane. So it's 2 first-timers. Literally, the way we look at these squads, This is Florida's first event, really, with these guys. And so Siena Heights also get their chance to just flaunt their stuff. It's been proven left, right, front, and center. That's going to be scary. Hammy gets to the side. 11 decide to skirt around that, maybe for some possession. Takes a cheeky shot towards the net. That's a great bump. Ryan now has a little bit to work with. Yanini tries to get a hand up. Hammy Cracker shooting with no juice in the tank, and the ball is going to be going the other way.
And Fuge takes out Larry there, just for good measure. Though Kyan couldn't get the ball around the first man. Again, Florida struggling to beat that first contest on the ball when they have some room anywhere on the pitch, really. Siena Heights in their challenge game have been on point, and they are 90 seconds away from confirming that one of the grand finals spot to be going their way. But we'll see if Florida has any juice left in the tank here at the end of Game 4.
Well, we're hoping and praying, aren't we? Because right now, counting down to less than 60 seconds, getting it close, and it is not looking good. If they can't get a goal going the other direction, then it's all but curtains for the Gators. They will be turned into fish food.
And they are right now very much fish food. Unfortunately, a little lackluster against Siena Heights, but I mean, they came in and got the big upset of the night, taking out Tennessee in round 1, and that I think is an impressive enough bullet point on their very young-lived resume, short-lived resume. I don't know, it's young right now. They're still building it. That's what I'm trying to say. But Siena Heights showed them who was boss in this one. Man, 4-0 sweep on a Handy Crackers-led Florida Gators is an impressive result for them.
Absolutely, and unless like we see just the craziest miracle happen here in 15 seconds, I always hate calling it so early. That's the one thing I never enjoy as a commentator caster, but it's just sometimes facts are facts and it's presented right in front of you. Throw the ball away, Yanini. You guys are done. Don't even let the 0 seconds happen. Fuge has completely stopped. Back flips to let it touch, and the GGs were preemptive last game. They're mint this time. 4-0. Send them to the finals, baby. Siena Heights on a tear.
They will await the winner of Brewton-Parker versus Texas. But yeah, a tear is completely right. Won the last 2 games of their series against ETSU, and then 4 straight. So 6 games of Rocket League in a row for SHU. Wow. But shout out Florida. I mean, I enjoyed watching them when they were allowed to play offense. It looked good. They definitely have wrinkles to iron out, though, before the next season, if they are going to be the contenders that I think they will be, and that I'm sure they think they will be. But they just ran up against an extremely good Siena Heights team that will absolutely be contenders wherever they're playing next season.
100%. That is a roster to be afraid of. Obviously, that UTK result here in the first round was unexpected. So those are 2 rosters that, again, I'm looking at that are young, up and coming.
Yep.
Obviously, the first time we're seeing Siena Heights here, Taibu getting added over to UTK. Lots of rising talent here, guys, in the collegiate scene. So you better keep your eyes peeled. We're gonna get some crazy kids coming up, signing up for college, proving what they got on the pitch. So you're not gonna want to miss these ML nights ever, man.
Absolutely not. That was the point of doing these events, and it's brought out some good viewership. Thank you all for watching tonight. We got 2 more series to go, so I hope you stick around, even if you're a Florida fan. Which, speaking of which, I gotta shout out my boy Lil Stan and Cheemsburger as well, to FAU and FAU player and Stan, and then just Florida and FAU fan in general and Cheemsburger. That series brought out the stars tonight. Obviously, Mama 11 as well. Definitely sticking with us for the Siena Heights appearance in the grand finals. But Taquito, I appreciate you joining me for that semifinals. But we do have to go to a short break. Wish Taquito well as we're moving on to Texas and Brewton-Parker. Coming up on Monday Night Lights, presented by Final Form Entertainment in a little bit. See you there. Welcome back to Monday Night Lights, sponsored this week by Final Form Entertainment. You can do ! Final Form in Twitch chat if you want to get involved with their awesome community. They are a fantastic group of people, and they care about the collegiate scene as well. So shout out FFE for sponsoring Monday Night Lights. But we have 2 series to go, so I'm going to bring in the big guns for this second semifinal. Master of Collegiate Casting, Mr. Jonas. Jonas, how you doing, my friend?
I am doing incredible. It's great to be on another Mr. Bepic Monday Night Lights broadcast. And I mean, we have already seen some great Rocket League tonight. I mean, Siena Heights have just been incredible to watch. But of course, now we're heading over to the other side of the bracket for the other semifinal, Brewton-Parker versus Texas.
Yep. And we're just getting straight into it. Texas finished eating, and they finally got here. And Brewton-Parker, I know we're itching to play, because Antix was saying he hasn't played in like an hour and a half, because they swept King early on, and then they had to wait for that last semifinal to wrap up. And now, Brewton-Parker, I'm sure, rearing to go against the Longhorns team that beat Davenport. And in Game 3 of that 3-1 win for Texas, Jonas, they won a 12-minute overtime.
I mean, that's just stuff that that's in stories. That's mythical right there, that kind of overtime. But I mean, it tends to happen, and I mean, happening on a tournament like this is absolutely crazy, but the Longhorns, they come out on top. We'll see if that kind of helps them with momentum moving into this series, because they have a very tough opponent in BPC.
There it is, Texas, with a possession here. Adorn gets through 2 BPC defenders there in the corner. And Brewton-Parker this week playing with Kyler in for Siena, who was subbing in last week. Siena did a great job leading the Barons to that second place finish, losing to Tennessee in the grand finals. But with Kyler in, actually not a player I've ever watched play for Brewton-Parker. I believe is a new recruit for the team. So I'm very eager to see what Brewton-Parker looks like with Kyler in the roster. Antix and Manny, obviously, we're all very familiar with them. If you keep up with CRL, know how good they are. But Kyler in this week, see how they do.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that affects really the rotations of Brewton-Parker, because their rotational game, their defensive game is kind of one of their trademarks. It's what led them to a pretty close series against Tennessee. They were able to defend a lot of those UTK attacks because their defense is just so solid, and so we'll see if Kyler is able to add to that, or maybe they're still just kind of figuring things out as a roster.
It's a lobbing clear that gave Adorn a little bit of room to work with on the ball, but couldn't keep it close, and so Brewton-Parker have an open net thanks to an additional play off the ball, blowing up, I believe, the last player back for Texas. So good heads-up play by the Barons, get them goal 1.
Yeah, it was Antix with a nice back post demo. No one left home for the Longhorns, and Antix just able to turn right back around to the midfield and take the pass off Kyler's hood. So it will be an early start for Brewton-Parker, and they like to have those early starts. I mentioned their defense already, just to try and build on that lead, not let any of their opponents in. So the Longhorns, they're going to have a tall task ahead of them.
Still defending on their goal line. Adorn notching a save right there. Can they save this, though? Brewton-Parker, by way of Antix and Manny, scoring again. I love this setup for Manny. So controlled on Texas back wall. Just not trying to score that ball, but get it around that last defender so that his team has an easy time scoring.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you don't always need to score. When you're going towards the net, you don't always need to put one on net. Just get it close. Just beat a couple defenders. Exactly what Manny did. Now Antix has 2 for Brewton-Parker, but here come the Longhorns back the other way. It will be defended well by the Barons. Kyler, air dribble looking for a 50 on Dorn, doesn't need it, didn't quite get the ground pinch in time. Big clear from Aviator. Antix looking to take this one away for BPC. Texas still just looking to get on the board.
Trying to work their offense. It's been a minute since they've actually gotten to play in the offensive zone. That last play was short-lived, as then they couldn't keep control in the corner. But all right, counterattack going the other way. Benda, a chance to flick, but Kyler lurking in the shadow of the ball. Hops on that challenge, and Brewton-Parker now the team counterattacking as 2 Longhorns got tied up in the defender. The last man on the goal line can't make the stop, and it's 3-0.
Yeah, that's how you saw Aviator and Adorn just all over each other in that corner. Benda just left to try and stand by himself on the goal line, and Antix picks up a hat trick already here in game number 1.
Off kickoff, Manny getting more possession for Brewton-Parker. We'll play that off the ceiling and use the ceiling as well to get out of offense real quick. It's Kyler that sticks with this clear, found by the Longhorns. Aviator up very quickly to put unregistered shot on target. That would have dribbled towards the net, but is easily saved away by Brewton-Parker. So they are playing more defense at the moment than we have seen them play throughout this game one. The Longhorns a good chance to find their opening goal of this series.
Yeah, they just need to keep adding on pressure now. They have the boost control. They have the ball on the offensive side with possession. They just need to keep going. Now Aviator pinches this one backwards out to the midfield. Adorn gets past one, delays the flip. Antics winning the 50 will also win the clear way over to Manny. High pop. Can anyone follow in time? Manny can't quite get it down. Benda, big save, but Kyler wastes no time with a huge challenge, sending it right back into the back wall. BPC, again, just not letting Texas really have a moment alone to themselves.
Oh, even there. Manny dropping that down. Antics on the rotation out. Still gets a touch on it to slow down the counter from Texas if it even emerges. As Manny passed down to Antics, has the ball intercepted. This is an opportunity now for Texas as Aviator shoots and scores. He made that look easy.
Yeah, great angle from the left side. It was really a mistouch from Manny up high. Didn't really know where to put it. And Aviator slots it from the corner. Maybe Kyler not even expecting a shot there, but Aviator makes it look quick and easy.
And Aviator's mom in Twitch chat right now celebrating as her son gets the first Texas goal of this series on the board. We've had a lot of moms in chat tonight, which I'm a big fan of. I love seeing the parental support at the highly competitive Rocket League level these guys are at.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, sometimes it can be quite the opposite, but seeing the parental support is always a great thing, and it makes a lot of players maybe even feel more motivated to play better, and you start to see that performances playing out. Some of the best players do have, you know, their parents cheering them on, whether it's in person or just in Twitch chat, and hopefully we'll see that kind of lift Texas to a better pace here as they are down by 2 as we approach the 15-second mark. Brewton-Parker just looking to hold off the Longhorns here and take game 1.
That's what they're doing right now. They're just playing it controlled. I didn't even think they were looking to score, but Antics whips a goal out of nowhere when I thought they were just stalling for time. What a shot!
Beautiful finish there. Dorn didn't think that one would stick to the ground. It looked like Antics just lost control off the sidewall, but a great recovery makes a 4th goal for not only BPC, but Antics himself. He's 4 for 5 in this game.
Bend off the back wall, no double. Could have been something, taking the game 2. Texas trying highly mechanical plays like that where you have to be extremely on point offensively, and even that wasn't quite panning out as they weren't allowed to play a ton of offense. So I feel like when they did get into the offensive zone, they had to go for stuff like that. The one goal they got was simple, but that was an opening that I don't think they're going to see very often throughout this series against this stacked of a BPC roster.
Yeah, and especially I think you only see those openings when Brewton-Parker go up by a large margin. They were up 3-0 before that goal came through, and of course they were able to get one more on the board, reinstating that 3-goal deficit. Texas, they're going to have to be explosive early if they want to take down this Barons team.
All right, I would expect a player like Aviator to be there to answer the explosiveness call. He's a guy that can take over a lobby, or he definitely has been in years past. It's been a while since I've consistently watched Texas, as they used to be SEL powerhouses. They actually won the league a couple of years ago, but they have been competing in the SEL in quite some time. So all I've seen from them was the Game 5 they forced against UTK and the CCS, and just a little bit of their series here and there. But so far, they need a little bit more against the Brewton-Parker team that I have watched a whole lot of and have seen them play very, very well all season long, as Antics demonstrating that even more, setting up Kyler for nearly a triple touch. The Brewton-Parker so much pressure right now.
Yeah, Texas running out of boost, running out of chances here, but Manny's got no boost as well. Tried to fake it down low. Dorn gets a good read on it. Benda using his one pad to pop this one up high. Aviator, only player with boost. Can Manny get it over him? No, tries to fake the big clear. Comes through, but it falls right to Antics. Demo from Manny, looking for a pass down center. Can he get it to him? Adorn there in time for the great job intercepting that play.
Ooh, great job stretching for that save. Benda didn't have anything in the tank. Still, clutch on the goal line, and it leads to a clear for Texas. Big block there from Benda. Maybe leading to possession. Not extended just yet, as Adorn has to pop this back into play. Aviator follows it up, and they do get some presence right out in front of the Brewton-Parker net, the Texas Longhorns, and they will net the opening goal of Game 2.
Yeah, this is something you don't see a lot from BPC. Manny, just a bit of an awkward touch and then some hesitation from Antics with low boost. Both players just kind of had to sit and watch after that first mistouch, and the Longhorns all over it for the icebreaker.
Hey, if they're given space to work like that, you have to take full advantage of it against Brewton-Parker, who would be my favorites in this series. I think Texas can keep it close to the Barons, but Brewton-Parker, they were a grand finalist last Monday for a reason. This is a very, very solid roster, and at the moment, still flexing that ability. Manny off the back wall for Kyler, who can't get a read on the shot, so decides to let it go, but here rotating back into the play. Intercepted the ball, takes it off the ceiling, looked to finish the play himself, but can't get it to go.
Now counterattacking, stewing for the Barons. Kyler with a flick middle. Antics can't reach it before Aviator. Manny tried the double off the sidewall, can't quite get it to fall. Kyler, another nice put up, a midfield battle now. It's gonna fall to Antics. No, Aviator wastes no time getting another touch. Benda rips it away, and you can see both these teams just exchanging blows, really just fighting for possession.
Texas is leveled up, for sure, in this game. Getting more creative with what they're doing off the ball, and that leads to more presence on the ball. So, already a success for the Longhorns, but I'm sure they would love to keep this one-goal lead intact, though. I don't think a one-goal lead is safe against Brewton-Parker, especially a 1-0 lead, as the Barons are going to be too good to be shut out in the game in this kind of series, I feel, though. Still, half a game of Rocket League come and gone, and they've yet to score, so we'll see if that stays true.
Yeah, I mean, going 2.5 minutes without scoring, you just kind of feel like BPC, they're due to put one away here soon. We've seen a good bit of pressure, and now Kyler in the corner trying to do everything he can to get this one. Middle Aviator, nice midfield demo on Manny. Antics taking another clear away, trying to turn it into something offensively. Midfield chip to Kyler, slots it in the upper 90. Pinpoint precision from Brewton-Parker.
And that's why I didn't think a 1-0 lead was safe. That is a wonderful, not just beat by Antics in the corner, but finished by Kyler, because that was not like a completely open shooting lane. They still had to get it around the post, around the last man back for the Longhorns, and still on target. Wonderfully executed play by Brewton-Parker. They'll look to add to their start of a goal-scoring spree, but they'll be stopped momentarily. Manny taken out of offense, but is right back to it. Still can't make an initial touch. Gets back to the backboard, placing a shot on target. All right, Brewton-Parker, no goal despite the fireworks.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be up to Texas to try and shut down this duo between Manny and Antics. I mean, we've seen their chemistry come and go. They've had some great plays, and they're so tough to stop when they're really heated up. So we'll see how the Longhorns are able to deal. Benda, that's a great delayed touch, and Adorn takes the open net. Didn't look like any play was coming. Looked like it was going to be easy clear for Kyler, but was not expecting the late touch.
Ah, that's so creative from Benda. They get that extra little oomph on the ball to keep it out of barren hands. And so Texas reclaim their lead. 90 seconds left. We'll see if they can hold this 1-goal lead.
Kyler already trying to get it back off the ceiling, wins the 50 down low. Low boost now as Manny off the ceiling. Benda is able to find a touch, wins the 50 away. Now Aviator clears it out. Benda, no boost, trying to recover, slipped up a bit. Manny hunting down another 50. You can see Brewton-Parker doing everything they can to attack this net. Kyler, flip reset, maybe looking to get it towards Manny. No, tried his shot. It's going to be an easy clear for the Longhorns.
Late touch from Antics will lead to a demo on Benda. Presence in the midfield for Brewton-Parker. Double kick forced off the back line of Texas. Not going to do them any favors in defending this 1-goal advantage they've got at the moment, but so far so good, though Kyler has a little bit of room in the corner. Can't hold on to the ball, and Aviator tried to clear, but Manny placed a shot on target off the ceiling, and Kyler secured it with an amazing midair bump.
I mean, he recovered
What?
and used the remainder of his boost to somehow find contact with the final defender, Kyler. What a bump there to tie things right back up.
Oh my word, that's crazy. Who thinks to do that? To pre-jump the pass and then bail out of the shot that never develops and turn it into a goal line midair bump. Okay, I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. The newest addition to the Brewton-Parker A team. Kyler looking good, but has to defend this. And we'll stop Benda, but can they stop Aviator? That's through one. Aviator sticking with it, can't dunk Antics. So we'll stay tied 2-2. Texas, though, very close to breaking this tie.
Yeah, they were almost able to punish that double commit. Now Benda trying to play it low with no boost.
Oh,
And
no.
Dorn flips it away. Antics fires on target. Aviator is back to save it. Might have one final opportunity on offense.
Benda lets that go. Okay, no more offense, at least for regulation. Overtime, though, is a different story. As we get a little bit of extra Rocket League here in game 2, but off kickoff, it's a close shave for Texas. They still are in danger here. Have to escape their zone, but Benda will deliver a clear.
Kyler trying to get the offense back started here. Do not want to let this series get tied up 1-1. Be much more comfortable having that solid 2-0 lead. A little bit of cushion moving forward in this series. Kyler rips it across. Manny trying to maintain control. Adorn, good clear, but Antics dunk now into the back wall. Can Kyler have a touch? Yes, he can. Clears it away, buys a little bit of time for his team.
Okay, Manny has plenty of boost here. I was waiting to see that boost indicator to see if Manny was low on the back wall or not, but he had plenty to find a clear and set up Kyler for success here. Manny off the back wall, trying to repay the favor that Kyler did him earlier, but Texas find a way out into a soft shot that no one's able to follow up. Let's put a little bit of pressure on the goal line of the Barons, but Brewton-Parker do very well. Aviator won't beat 2 in his defensive zone, but third man in Antics places the ball to the orange back wall where Aviator finds an extra touch just out to the side.
Yeah, already over a minute gone in this OT. Both teams still looking so locked in, or most likely either waiting for, one of those outplays or just a mistake to come through, but neither team looking to do that soon. Both looking very poised in this overtime. As I say that, we see a big mistouch, and Kyler there to punish for BPC. This one, a big challenge won by Manny. Benda could not clear it away, and Kyler got all of it.
I mean, Benda could have let that ball roll up the back wall, but it was sent so hard at him, you really can't make that decision in real time. So he tried to backflip it away, but it just got too much on his hood. And all right, Brewton-Parker force a mistake out of Texas in overtime to take a 2-0 series lead.
And again, I mean, the offensive pressure we are seeing from BPC is absolutely incredible. 13 shots compared to the 4 from Texas. I mean, that is absolutely incredible. We have seen some great saves out of the Longhorns ever. Benda had 5, Aviator had 4, but unfortunately, one save goes awry and it means the game.
Yeah, and it's better for Texas in game 2. I mean, the shot line was pretty similar to game 1. It was 12-4 in game 1, 13-4 in game 2, but that was an overtime. That Brewton-Parker scored 1 less goal than game 1 in, and Texas scored 1 more goal than game 1 in. So it's trending in the right direction are the Longhorns, but this game 3 is critical. They need to win this, or else they will not be joining Siena Heights in the grand finals. So we'll see what Texas can do to deliver, but they are starting on the wrong end of the pitch.
Yeah, now Manny looking for Antics, couldn't quite find him. Kyler reset, he just needed to put a shot on target. The bump was there from Antics, but he ends up letting that one fall away. So already seeing maybe a little bit of overconfidence here in the first 30 seconds. Antics ceiling pitch into the back wall. Brewton-Parker, I mean, they're firing on all cylinders offensively.
And that's good. If they do advance out of this semifinal, we need a team firing on all cylinders to take down Siena Heights for how good they've looked on this evening. So, Brewton-Parker, I'm glad to see them playing confidently, but Texas, solid defense on the opening possession for BPC. But we'll find it clear, and it's short-lived offense, putting Adorn into 1v2 that they cannot stop. Manny emphatically placing that shot home, 1-0 Brewton-Parker.
Manny, for me, is one of the most fun players to watch because he has no problem going forward. He always seems to do it with confidence and with enthusiasm, and you can see it displayed there. Took one touch, immediately heads straight towards the back hole, makes the double look easy, slotting it past the right post side and getting BPC a lead.
Center ball taken away by Kyler. Texas can't advance. This is a bad look for the Longhorns so far. They're going to have to operate a lot in counterattack mode as Brewton-Parker have controlled the pace, controlled the possession, and now they have full control over the scoreboard.
Yeah, Benda couldn't reset when Adorn had to dodge the bump attempt upfield from Manny, and it allows just an easy shot from Antics. So a really tough start here in game number 3 for Texas. And Brewton-Parker, they're just going to be looking to keep doing their thing.
Ooh, Antics had to do his thing at the last second, saving that shot just on the goal line of Brewton-Parker. Texas, though, again pushed back upon. They really cannot establish themselves in the offensive zone at the moment. That joint could help. Benda has too much momentum going forward, so he has to stop and start for that play. Can only get a backboard clear with it. Puts it to the BPC back wall, and Barons field it, get clear, and immediately into the Texas box where Kyler goes to work, but center ball, and Brewton-Parker on the sidewall now.
Antics, good pinch across. Manny can't quite get on top of the finish. Will allow Benda to escape for Texas. Only 20 boosts to go in the corner. Finds the double, ends up stopping its momentum. Then gives it away. Aviator almost punishing that big mistake from Antics. Antics thought he had plenty of time and space, maybe not thinking the challenge would actually come through. Now Kyler, big 50 in front of the orange net. Texas hanging on, but have not been able to get their offense jump-started here in Game 3.
Okay, no touch there, and it doesn't throw off Brewton-Parker. They really have not been phased by these extra little bumps on the ball that Texas have been getting. This game, though, I mean, I think back to the goal Benda got with the extra little bump on the ball and it threw off the defense. But here, Brewton-Parker settled in, executing their defense perfectly, setting up offensive chances left and right. And Manny having a phenomenal game now, shooting 2 for 3 and putting Brewton-Parker up by a trio of goals.
Yeah, great pass middle from Antics, and Manny wasting no time putting that one top shelf. Defense barely even had a chance to react before that goal came through. So less than half this game to go. BPC up by 3. Antics trying to make it 4. Doubles it. Kyler is bumped off. Counter attack. Aviator low boost, and you can see Manny, he was wasting no time for another challenge.
To side, Benda closed down upon immediately by Kyler. I thought for sure that'd be an offensive for Texas, but it's immediately thrown back in their face with a shot on from Brewton-Parker. Texas will defend it again, but man, it seems like every opportunity is just immediately stripped away by Brewton-Parker, and they find a way down the pitch very quickly. They are counter-attacking. Manny, a pass over to Antics, and it's just creative offense from the Barons. They might score this, but there's no shooter in the area, so Texas get it clear.
I mean, they know they don't need to put any more on the board. They have 90 seconds just to hold this one on tight, but Antics, a huge free jump, shutting that down. Another shot from Manny Adorn. Low boost, still able to find the save. Antics pinched through the corner. Benda on the clear. Manny back into the corner safely, and Brewton-Parker, I mean, they just look more than comfortable here in this third game. I mean, with 1:15 to go, a 3-goal lead, you can't really blame them, but you can see it being reflected all over. Just huge pre-jumps. They're leaving the net wide open. Adorn will pick up 1 for the Longhorns. Will they be able to punish 2 more?
They could. I don't know, though. Brewton-Parker still in control, even with their lead cut to 2. Shout out to Collegiate CS for the raid, bringing over your 20 viewers from the SDSU Nevada Championship. Much appreciated, nation. I assume that was you at the helm of the raid. Let me know who won, as we got Brewton-Parker and Texas going at it, as Brewton-Parker leads 2-0 in this best of 7, and look poised for a 3-0 series lead.
They really do, and it's going to be up to Texas to see what they can do to shake off these losses, as we've seen them getting close in some aspects, but BPC just able to be so confident in their own right and stay ahead. Now Benda in a 1v1 flick attempt, shut down by Manny. Counterattack immediately off the post, doesn't matter. Manny there to pick up his hat trick.
So fast from Brewton-Parker. I don't know how you stop this if you're Texas. Somehow Antics is down the field, prepared for exactly where that clear is going. He puts it off the post. Oops, Manny's still there for the cleanup. BPC again hitting the 4-goal mark in a game in this series. With 30 seconds left as well, they could add another here off kickoff. Wonderful shot. Kyler over-jumped the rebound just a little bit, but Texas, a lot of work to do if they are going to join Siena Heights in the grand finals.
Yeah, and that's not an easy team to beat, but Brewton-Parker, they're making a statement here in Game 3. Antics, we saw a bit of a ground pinch earlier, but now flip reset down, spots the opening, and runs away with it. Brewton-Parker a 5-1 lead.
Now a total of 12 goals scored by the Barons, just 4 for Texas. And I mean, this game's over. We're just going to see if Texas or Brewton-Parker can find any more goals at the end to take into the next game. Manny, it's been electric for the Barons in this one. Kyler as well, the newest addition. Like I've been talking about being excited to watch, I have been extremely impressed by Brewton-Parker and their new look-ish roster. That's what these Monday Night Monday Night Lights are about. Is looking at these new versions of rosters going into next season. And so far, BPC not losing any kind of firepower, making a change.
Yeah, I mean, this team is looking absolutely electric. I mean, Manny getting a hat trick here. We've seen Antics, who got a hat trick in game 1. He got 2 goals, 2 assists. Kyler, of course, all over with the supporting roles and assists, 3 saves. I mean, this team, they just really look unstoppable. And now Texas are going to have to try and reverse sweep them just to try and make grand finals.
Yeah, and then you get an even... Well, I'm going to say even bigger. I'm going to say an equal juggernaut in Siena Heights to try and beat in the grand finals. So, I mean, we were looking destined for a Brewton-Parker Siena Heights matchup, I feel, after Florida took down UTK in round 1, which I got word from Joe Bro. Apparently, he was dealing with some lag that series. So if you're wondering what might have gone into that, obviously Florida played extremely well to get the win there. But there was something happening on the Tennessee side. For those looking for the scoop in that series. But, all right, Texas and Brewton-Parker, game 4. We'll see if Texas has anything in store for us.
Yeah, I want to see this team get started early. They cannot let BPC get into a comfortable position, otherwise it will be their ruining. And Antics might already have a look here off the sidewall, just pitching it all the way upfield. Another demo from Jordan. Have seen a bit of that physicality early coming from the Longhorns. Manny intercept, wave dash onto the ceiling, can't get back to it for another touch. It's going to fall to Antics. Just rips a shot towards the far side of Dorn. Missed the touch. The clear does come through from Benda, but Brewton-Parker, they already look in control.
Almost a team pinch there. It was off target, still touched by Texas, but Parker getting right back to playing offense, and Texas all on their back line at the moment. Aviator challenging first, can't make contact, and Dorn can't make contact either. Kylo looking terrifying at the moment, especially if you're on the Longhorn side in this series, but it's beaten by Aviator now. Manny, the same Manny! Oh. What an angle! Aviator's gonna score it, but hey, Manny's saying great pass in chat. I love that.
I mean, it always seems that the best shots are always own goals, and this being a great description, somehow Manny jumping up in front of that ball and getting that one down off his back wall. So what a way to open it up if you're Texas.
Yeah, that's a worldie right there. I don't know whose highlight reel that would go in, though, Aviators or Manny's. That's a good way to start for Texas. They almost find a second, but that is just off target with that shot. Brewton-Parker find a clear.
Way upfield, Kyler off the ceiling, a door. Great read on it, was able to shut that play down. But now Manny, maybe looking for Antics, get outsped by Benda. Back to the corner, Manny rips it upfield, just trying to catch the defense, sleeping in Dorn. Another good save, Benda to Aviator, cross from one, Benda wins it upfield, seeing Texas starting to put together some great clears, working together, but unfortunately not able to keep enough of that possession, allows BPC to escape.
I mean, Texas has been in this kind of spot before, holding a 1-goal lead into the first couple of minutes of a game. Game 2 looked a lot like this, but they couldn't add to that lead. It was always Brewton-Parker answering, Texas finding a lead again, and then losing that 1-goal lead subsequently before dropping it in overtime. So it has to be better. I think they need a second goal if they are going to win this game. They need a buffer in between them and Brewton-Parker because the Barons are too lethal when it comes to just a singular opportunity, whenever that does come. And this is around the point. In that second game, Brewton-Parker did score the equalizer, and they have got offense now. But Texas stopping them for the moment as Kyler returns to center, finds Manny coming off the ceiling. That's cracked, but Texas, an open net, it's 2-0.
A great take here from Benda as Kyler and Manny were looking to tie it up in a great play, but Benda just caught Antics moving a little bit too slow, had no boost, but had momentum going forward, able to spot the opening.
Okay. Hey, they found it. I thought that was Brewton-Parker gearing up for a long offensive into crazy mechanical or open net set up by crazy mechanical play. But good job, Texas finding an opening. And Aviator using his mechanics to get another. Adorn, cutting. Tyler gets back low on boost. Stop that shot. Antics high on boost. Gets it clear. Puts it on the back wall. Sets up Manny to go off the ceiling. Aviator also falling off the ceiling. Following the ball's path down, but Brewton-Parker haven't gotten through the Texas defense until now. Antics, what a dunk. Using his muscles right there.
I mean, it's just perfect timing, really, with casting and gameplay and Antics. What a dunk here. Reading Aviators clear perfectly. Puts that one down past the left post side, and Brewton-Parker cut the lead in half.
Oh, Aviator kills me. That dude's so funny. He's good at Rocket League, but great personality as well. He's complimenting Antics for that goal right there. 2-1. Texas still out in front with 90 seconds to play in game 4. Manny going back wall, bumping Aviator, and Antics goes off the post. Kyler goes out to the side. That's where Aviator's lurking, so a half a clear for the Longhorn. The Barons still gearing up in offense.
Antics reset. Does he get the pitch across? He finds the dunk, and Kyler cleans up shop. Antics, my word, what was this dish middle?
I don't know. Antics obviously worked out before this stream because he looks extremely strong on the goal line. That is 2 massive challenges taken right at the heart of Texas. 2-2, 70 seconds left. Benda trying to do the same, but Kyler looking pretty muscular as well.
Manny, no boost to try and storm forward. Tyler rips it into the back while Manny, a boost steal in the far corner. Dorn trying to find the clear 50 from Manny. Antics finds a chip around him. Can he get it middle? No, not quite. Good demo from Aviator to build a lot of time and space, almost putting away the open net, but Manny able to respawn and recover in time.
50-50 respawn right there is what is the difference right now between Brewton-Parker down by 1 and them potentially taking the lead now. Antics over the top of Benda. He does it again.
I mean, you just see him with this much control. Benda not quite in position yet, and there's just nothing you can do. Will he go for the air dribble? Will he go for the air dribble bump? There's really no telling. He just carries it all the way home, and from down 2, BPC now leading by 1. Might make it too many. Has an opening. Can he get the shot on target? No. Aviator sweeps it away.
Texas had a 2-0 lead about a minute and a half ago, but then Antics happened. Unbelievable step-up moment from a long-time Brewton-Parker star. Manny, though, off the sidewall, can't find an extra touch. Antics kind of in no man's land, so Kyler has to step up. Is bested by Aviator. Center ball. Benda wins it clean, but puts the shot off target. Adorn, secondary opportunity. It's a shot rather than calling it possession. That's a big interception. Antics, big clear. It's on frame that Benda will save and keep up for a moment longer, but it does fall. Brewton-Parker 4-0 sweep the Texas Longhorns, and they move on to Grands.
I mean, it looked like the Longhorns were at least going to get one there in game number 4. They had the 2-0 lead, but no one was ready for Antics to pop off offensively. Had a great goal, had the assist, and then another air dribble goal to finish it. Brewton-Parker, what a sweep here. Now they move on to Grands to play Siena Heights.
And Aviators still complimenting Antics' ability to step up in the post-game lobby. I love it. I love the Texas boys. Shout out to them for making a good run, taking down Davenport. It was a top 48 roster in the colleague top 48 this past semester. Upset them in 4, and then here looked decent against Brewton-Parker, but ultimately couldn't take a game. They stepped in today as well. They accepted the invitation at the last second as I had some teams drop out. So shout out my Texas boys. Love them. But Brewton-Parker, the team taking on Siena Heights. Dronis, that is going to be a fun grand finals.
It really will. I mean, we have seen Brewton-Parker have some great series, as they always seem to do. A good sweep here over the Longhorns to advance to Grands, but Siena Heights, they have been a different beast so far in this tournament, and now we're going to see the two go head-to-head in grand finals. Can't get any better for that $60 prize pool. It's going to be so fun to see.
Yep, $60 on the line, as Dronis said. Either Brewton-Parker or Siena Heights will be taking it after one more best of 7 on this fine Monday night. One last shout out to Final Form, though, before we do take a short break. Exclamation point Final Form in Twitch chat if you want to get involved with their community. Awesome, awesome group of people. And yeah, check them out. But we'll be right back. The grand finals coming up in just a bit. Stay tuned for more action under the Monday Night Lights. All right, welcome back. So sorry for the delays. Mr. TJ here to finish up scrims. So, you know, he's good at Rocket League. And I was just jumping into another phenomenal lobby of Rocket League as we got Brewton-Parker versus Siena Heights in the grand finals of Monday Night Lights. TJ, I know you're very familiar with your BPC boys. So what are you looking forward to in this grands?
Yeah, I love this program. I love the way they're ran. Shout out to Coach Stanley over there. Nani, this team is incredible, top to bottom. They continue year after year, no matter who is starting. They always seem to just be consistent. They always seem to be in that top 20, that top 15, but you cannot count out the Siena Heights roster. I'm very excited to see how they've done. I've gotten to watch the action a little bit today, but like you mentioned, wasn't scrims, so on me, guys. But I'm excited for this one. Hopefully the VPC guys will represent Georgia well.
All right, well, we'll see. We should be getting into this best of 7 shortly. Brewton-Parker trying to avenge their second place of last week. Siena Heights, a newly invited team. I brought them in to try and beat the Volunteers of Tennessee, but they dropped in round 1. I never got to even see that matchup. So we got Siena Heights looking very good all throughout today against the BPC that just dismantled Texas. So getting into it, 10 seconds in, Siena Heights denied their opening chance.
What happened so far? Actually, didn't bring me into the lobby, so that's fun.
Oh.
So I'm good now. I'm catching up to the action
Right.
now. So we'll go flying off that board. Antics double touch. You got to get used to seeing that man do mechanical plays like this.
Already, Brewton-Parker picking up where they left off in the Texas series. That is so quick from Antics. And Siena Heights, they have played good teams today, playing Skylines East Tennessee. They just played the high-flying Hammy Crackers in the Florida Gators in the semifinals. And now they have upgraded the speed even more against Brewton-Parker, who can score from any angle. They showed us in their semifinal. And Antics keeping things going for the Barons. And Kyler trying to do the same. That's just in 2-0.
Tyler, the newest addition to this Brewton-Parker roster. He's been around the program from what I've heard, but he is extremely new to the starting roster. Obviously, no Solus, no Sino. He comes out of nowhere in the last few weeks, and hey, good speed there on that one.
2-0, and then an open net. That's how you beat Siena Heights. You get the ball back before they can get back in defense. And off kickoff. That is a backwards Antics, fielding the ball. Unorthodox, but it works. Tyler getting back into the play upon respawn after that demo. And that's another clear for Brewton-Parker. Siena Heights, who did so well scoring the ball throughout today. Maybe warming up just a little bit more. If they did have that break on the backside of their semifinal instead of the front side, like Brewton-Parker had, the nature of the beast when casting a single elimination bracket. So I would be surprised to see them just kind of slowly work their way back into this series.
I agree. I do feel like Brewton-Parker had the quote-unquote faster side of things. I mean, obviously they play Kane University in their first round matchup, which of all the teams they wanted to draw probably wasn't their favorite. But then they go into Texas, take care of business, versus where obviously Florida, very talented team, adding Hammy. But I think all night Brewton-Parker have been playing at the speed, and it's worked for them wonderfully, as that's a crazy trade there in front of the net. We're not going to see Siena Heights score on. We might see them get one of their own here. It's 11 top right, but nothing will be found. It's going to stay 2-0.
The block. Antics again coming up big for the Barons. Now cutting through the defensive third as he is stopped upon entering the midfield third. Kyler on the goal line having to do work, but Siena Heights adding more and more pressure as this game develops. Fuge peppering the back wall, but that's a great beat by Kyler. Big clear down the other end of the field, and Fuge lets that ball go, so he's 11 to help out there in the corner. 11 does well, drops that ball. It was always dangerous, but had Fuge and Yanini to help clear the zone.
The free jump from Antics there to deny that open shot. Wait a minute, though, might still be open off of Fuge. Manny will not be able to get there. It actually might have been Antics. Couldn't tell who, but regardless, looks like it was Antics. He couldn't get there in time, but a great touch from Fuge. Doesn't have to put too much power into it. Kyler almost reads it well, but unfortunately for the Brewton-Parker half, Siena Heights finally starting to get back into this one.
That is, again, unorthodox. Fuge just kind of parked and then shifted gears into reverse to get that one to go in. Brewton-Parker unable to stop that. Siena Heights on the board. Maybe that's the signifier that they are very much back here. As Fuge had a chance to field that ball up front, but couldn't grab the stretch pass, turn it into a shot, and Brewton-Parker find a way out.
both teams having some odd double commits on both ends. So obviously seeing that adjustment, no matter who you play in the first and second round here, really just in classic Monday Night Lights fashion. But speaking of that, we see a shot go flying towards the Siena Heights net, but fortunately for them, they're going to save that one for the time being. But Kyler trying to keep some pressure on, but that's going to be 11. Reading that, Antics might just find Kyler on the counterattack here, but it's going to be Fuge. Awkward clear. Antics tap to Manny. Manny over one. Bumped off. Antics over one again. Here comes 11, who has to be the saving grace. It takes 2 men, and it doesn't even matter. He still gets the save. And here comes the counter. Siena Heights, though. Manny will finally give them some time, but wait a minute. Top. Thing.
Oh no, Yanini had that ball sent right at their face, and they tried to cut around to keep playing offense on the blue side of the field, but was forced to play offense on the orange side of the field. Great finish on an open net, just the wrong one. So Brewton-Parker kind of forcing that, but Yanini put in a bad spot.
I mean, first game, it is a best of 7 if I read the stuff right?
Yeah, best of 7.
Okay, so best of 7, obviously plenty of time here to kind of get into your rhythm, get into your swing, especially at this high level as awkward motion going on there from both teams in the field. We'll see, 11 gets bumped off. Kyler trying to flick over one, but Yanini, great clear by him, trying to find Food on the counter. Solid pinch, but with a minute left, that's just possession that's going to be given away.
Try to grab it back from Manny and succeed. Siena Heights on the goal line, forcing a save out of Kyler. Fuge cutting back, popping to themselves. Center ball, can 11 cut? Yes, but that's a missed shot on what was an open net thanks to a Rule 1 going on right now in the goal. And so Brewton-Parker dodge a bullet. That could have changed this game completely, but all right. All is fine for Siena Heights as Fuge finds an open net and does what 11 could not.
Takes a Rule 1, but hey, game is game, right? Big respect to the two players, the Yanini and Antics, for holding that one, and hey, it gives Siena Heights a foot in the door.
40 seconds left. Lead cut to 1. Siena Heights absolutely have a foot in the door, especially with how they've been slowly getting better and better at controlling possession against Brewton-Parker. That last goal came off the back of an extended stay in the Baron side, and now, again, off kickoff, claiming possession. But Manny's up to meet Yanini, though. Siena Heights rep winning the initial challenge. Antics going the wrong way. That's another dangerous ball. I don't know what's gotten into the players, but own goals seem to be attempted on either side so far.
Not a lot of boost for Brewton-Parker either, but it might not even matter as that shot comes close. Antics and 11 will 50. 11 backflips, though. It's going to stall this offense, but Fuge, no boost. Just has to put something forward, but Kyler has plenty to use and a wide open net to shoot at. There is no such thing as defense here. 2 seconds left. I understand why they had to push forward, but unfortunately for them, will lead to it.
Okay, see, I saw Yanini going towards that side wall, but didn't have boost, so I had to collect it. And I figured with boost in hand, it would be able to get back for how slow that ball was trickling in. But didn't have it in the tank, so 4-2. Brewton-Parker sealing game 1, but they had to work for it. And it came off the back, I feel, of them playing their semifinal second and coming in the warmer of the two teams, which, again, nature of the way the tournament is formatted. But, hey, Siena Heights, they really warmed up there at the end.
Yeah, I mean, they really started to find their rhythm here. I believe that both these rosters, if I remember right, I think both these rosters have a new addition since they last were on your stream.
Yep.
I'm not sure if Siena Heights, they are, yeah. I forget who the new addition is for Siena Heights. I would imagine it's
Yanini,
based on,
yeah.
Yeah, because he doesn't have the tag, so I'd imagine so. But both teams, obviously, having a different player than normal, but so far the matchup feels oddly similar. Brewton-Parker taking a lot of that early possession, a lot of that early control, and kind of getting some weird mechanical goals. But regardless, Siena Heights, they're here to play. We'll see what they got in store in Game 2.
I'm so glad you brought that up, because I forgot to bring the point up. Earlier, when I saw how the bracket was kind of shaping up, I remembered that Siena Heights and Brewton-Parker have both actually played on Monday Night Lights before, during our Great Lakes CRL night, and that was a 4-0 for Brewton-Parker. And Siena Heights have absolutely upgraded with Yanini since then. I love Benbow, and I know he's watched in chat supporting his boys, but Yanini's been popping off tonight and has really looked like a great new third. And Kyler, at times, has really looked like a great new third for Brewton-Parker, but Manny and Antics have been the two that have stolen the spotlight from the new Baron on the BPC side.
No matter what, they seem to always do that, and I've heard some really great things about what's to come over there. So for them to have a player like Kyler who's able to stand in or just be ready to go for the fall and the summer series if he's needed, he's incredible. And speaking of incredible, Manny getting a massive pinch over one there, giving Kyler's a much-needed possession for Brewton-Parker, but a great bump from Food. It's going to give Siena Heights their first major attack of this game. Giannini try and find something over Antics here. A little bit of some antics in the corner there, but nothing exactly going to be found. Parker defense. Antics, though. 1v1 Menace trying to fake one, but can't find much more than a 50. And now you'll see Giannini. He's over one, trying to fight through the contact, but no and one, no shot. Brewton-Parker counter.
Antics now upfield, but beaten by 11. That is a clean beat for Giannini. I'm not sure what's happening right now on the field. There's a lot of stopping and starting from players at the moment, but Giannini has just scored, and that is a clean finish as well.
Yeah, I believe 11's complaining about the ping because I think he's hovering at a very nice 104 right now. Not exactly where he'd want to be, but we'll see if maybe there's a server change in order after this game. Looks like he's going to stop, so I'm not sure if he was stopped before that goal. I guess we'll leave that to the Monday Night Lights admin crew to figure out.
Oh, great. That's
which is only, yep, just Bepic. So I guess we're going to watch them play it out, but I guess we're going to switch here, Bepic?
Hold on. I'm gonna sort it out.
Okay. Well, for the time being, I guess we'll cast the full play here. It looks like both teams kind of... Actually, I guess they are full sweating here. 11 finally has the ping to at least try to attempt to play this game. Somewhere around the 84 mark. Food, though. He's been good ping. He's been chilling. No central needed for him. He'll try and do something here. Manny, solo play over Giannini, but not going to be found. The antics. Trying to flip this one down, and obviously players still trying to figure out they're going to actually start the server, but as of right now, they're playing things out as normal. Antics, typing for him. So it looks like we probably will switch them. Not counting that goal, obviously.
Yeah, that's what I'm See, I was gonna switch it. I just forgot. So that's completely
all
on me.
good?
That's why you don't produce cast and an admin. But
I don't know. Does that first goal count though?
No, I'm gonna say complete restart because 11 was calling for it earlier.
Shout out Bepic admin, doing a great job as always.
Yeah, so we'll get reset for game 2 in a second, but it's been back and forth. I mean, that was a great. I feel bad taking away that finish from Giannini, but that was.
He'll get it back.
He'll get it back. You're absolutely right.
He'll be good. I mean, he's looked really talented. Like you mentioned after game 1, he's been an extremely talented stand-in for the Siena Heights roster. One that I feel like has always been so close in major tournaments. I believe in Colleague they placed somewhere in the top 32, top 25 maybe. I believe they won their first and second round matchup, and then they went up against some crazy high-seeded. But they've always looked really good whenever this team has gotten together for major tournaments. But regardless, we'll see if they can bring it back here in game 2, as it put me in a lobby by myself.
Yeah, go ahead and leave that. That's on me. Again, I don't recommend adminning and producing and casting. It's
got it.
Stressful. But yeah, Siena Heights have been they flirted with the top 48 of Colleague several times throughout last semester. And so I expect them to keep this close with Brewton-Parker, despite what the last result between these two teams were, at least on my stream. So we will be getting into game 2. I'm just gonna say clean restart for the sake of simplicity. But I once we get into this with good ping for Siena Heights, I fully expect them to be able to keep pace with Brewton-Parker because it was extremely close. The scoreboard being a 2-goal win for Brewton-Parker in game 1, I don't think does justice to how good Siena Heights was playing in the back half of that game. So that's just even standing, good ping. We'll see how SHU looks.
Yeah, I'm excited to see. We get good ping. We're on Central. A little more of a bit of a even playing field, I guess. Also, hopefully chat can hear my mic all good.
Yep.
Obviously, I'm home for the first day in a hot minute, so it's kind of bugging on me, but we're going to power through it. All right, we're having tech issues across the board, player issues across the board, but eventually we'll get game 2 to you.
Eventually, yeah. Sorry about that. I know there are a lot of Siena Heights fans in chat. Oh, and I gave the wrong info as well. So I was telling, who was it, Dronis in between this series and the last. Things have gone too well tonight. Like, things have gone so smooth. We've had great games so far, and something had to go wrong for the grand finals. It wouldn't be a Monday Night Lights if something didn't go wrong like this. So fortunately, we're getting it out of the way very early on. It's not like it happened at the end of an electric series that went like Game 6 or Game 7 on Champions Field. So we're getting it sorted now. Thank you for sticking with us. This has been my best viewership night of any of these Monday Night Lights ever. So huge shout out to everybody watching and contributing, and just everyone involved with MNL tonight. It's been a wonderful night, and TJ, hopefully we can get the conclusion of Monday Night Lights overdone with no more tech issues starting now.
What happened? Tyler gonna try and get this one to Antics, but can't get there first, so it's Food with great control. He might just open up a shooting lane. 11, a fake, take it back. That's gonna fake. Manny shoots through it.
Nini picking up 100 boost, but not going back for the ball, just looking to sweep the goal line of Brewton-Parker. The center ball, Antics able to stop it. It was a shot as well. Easily saved away. It didn't have too much venom. Siena Heights, though, their first possession of the game, really stepping up and controlling the game. I said I felt bad taking away that one goal they scored in the null and void game 2 that we saw, but at this rate, they could very easily find one back as Yanini is set up for success, though Manny back with no boost to stop that attempt.
Not a lot of boost on that Brewton-Parker half, and the counterattack was open there, but Manny's touch doesn't come. Neither will Antics, so now Manny has to use all of his boost to put a shot on net here that almost will be dunked in. Here comes Kyler. Low ball, trying to take a chance. Musty, not going to land though, so now Manny in an awkward spot off that wall. Takes one, but now Food looking to pass. That's going to be 11 with a major demo, but Antics, a good job to get there first. But wait a minute, Food might have a little more in the tank. Manny and Kyler double commit. That could be open here, but Yanini won't hit. 11 will backflip. It's chaos here.
And 11 trying to wrangle the chaos, but Food challenged by Antics, gets the back wall, and denied again on the near side by Brewton-Parker. Good defense, and then off the ball, bumping Yanini away from the play so they can't set up. He tried to get some revenge. It's actually 11 to find the demo on the goal line. Double commit from Brewton-Parker. I don't know how. No one has scored on either side of the pitch right now because we are playing at a frenzied pace. Demos abound, double commits abound, super low boost on the BPC end, and yet it's still 0-0.
I'm loving the demos from Siena Heights. It might just be enough to open up a shooting lane as Manny gets bumped, as I mentioned that. And unfortunately, nobody's able to follow. So now Yanini, is he going to fake for 11? Looks like some miscommunication there, but the shot might still come through. Tyler, though, massive clear downfield. Yanini, absolutely no boost. Has to slam it wall. Tyler, though, he might not get a great 50 here, just gonna sit in that Siena Heights corner. But Siena Heights offensively looking a lot better as we approach the halfway point of this game.
Oh, yeah, and they spent 75% of this first half on the Brewton-Parker end, and that could result in an open net. That's just a miss out of the corner. Fuge crept in, the ball got poked over his head, and Siena Heights just wasn't back.
Yeah, I guess a little bit of miscommunication on rotation. Very aggressive from Siena Heights. It's worked wonders, but Brewton-Parker finally avoiding the demos, and you get that one more player extra. Start getting some easy counters like that. So, halfway through, BPC up 1.
Nini beaten here, going the wrong way. 11 will field on the back wall. Maybe it was intentional, knowing the caliber of not just the mechanics, but the brains of these two teams. I would be surprised if something like that was intentional, going all the way back, but it conceded possession, so it doesn't work out. In fact, Brewton-Parker again on the doorstep of Siena Heights, really finding a 2-goal lead.
Brewton-Parker, a team that does wonders with a 2-goal lead, obviously just absolutely hunkering down when they need to, and they cannot find that one, so we'll see if it hurts them a little bit. 2 minutes left, still plenty of Rocket League left to play, and Siena Heights, you kind of dodge a bullet there, and you might just find the whole barrel to shoot at here, but unfortunately that net won't be found either. So again, more messy gameplay from these teams. Maybe it's a single limb finally getting to them, or maybe they're not as experienced Monday Night Lights as they should be to be ready for this one, as another double commit will come out, this time from Brewton-Parker. Food will try and make something of it, but it's just too weak of a touch. Manny, though, he's up for some reason. Antics, almost nothing in the tank, somehow finds that touch. 90 seconds left. Siena Heights needs one desperately, and they're so close. They might find it here. Kyler can't get it. Food will tie it up.
Great ground play right there, right in front of the Brewton-Parker net. There was a defender back here in Kyler that would have made a save had that initial touch from Yanini not been off the post or off the back wall. It set up an easy finish for Fuge. They got Kyler to jump. And all right, Siena Heights find an answer.
Well, see how they play with the added pressure. Actually, I should say the relieved pressure, but the added pressure. Parker. Do you think he can break this tie? Yanini, though, looking really confident so far, taking that one towards the Brewton-Parker net, but he won't find it. Fuge, though, he'll find a great 50. And Manny has to just shoot this on net. Wait a minute, Yanini, he can't get it. Neither can 11. It's another third man miss, and it's another goal for BPC.
Just too awkward at the midfield line for Siena Heights. I think if Fuge doesn't spin out right, there's a chance to get an extra touch on the ball. And instead, no touch. Brewton-Parker goes straight down Main Street for an easy goal as SHU a bit scrambled there defensively. And now with a minute left, Brewton-Parker could go up 2-0 in this series.
Obviously, Siena Heights wanting to get this game. Even if it is a little chalked, they would love the breathing room, would love the mental reset of a tied best of 7. But you got to work to get it. And as of right now, they got it cut out for them. And they might just leave this net open here. Is anybody in the area? It's Manny in a 1v2. Antics faking 1, looking to work over 2. You betcha! 3-1, Brewton-Parker.
Antics coming up big time. What a play here. Realized that 11 was fake challenging. Cut past him when he did decide to challenge and finished over Yanini perfectly. Brewton-Parker executing down the stretch after playing so much defense to kick off game 2. Now, Siena Heights have a lot of work to be done in the final 40.
It's exactly what you hope for. Have your offensive leader and Yanini, the new addition to this roster, almost comes up with a clutch shot there, but just a little high. But Yanini might just get a second chance here. But Antics taking control touch, gets the double past another player. Can he make the 1v3 happen? He'll leave it for Manny instead, who looks to drop this one. But Yanini tries to read it. Antics, though, he'll find another. 2 goals for him.
With 20 seconds left, I think that's about it. Brewton-Parker, great finishing. I mean, they didn't have a ton of time spent in the offensive zone throughout this game too, but when they did get to play offense, they know how to execute on that side of the ball, and they did. 4-1, 4 goals against this Siena Heights team that didn't give up a ton in either of their 2 series previously. It's a statement out of the Barons.
Well, I asked how both these teams would respond to pressure this game too. Obviously, Brewton-Parker needing to relax a lot more. Kyler especially relaxing as he's at 90 points this game. Have to point that out. Sorry, Kyler. He might just find a goal here just to make sure they get a little bit of extra, but Antics can't keep it up. But you have a complete 2-man attack. It is all Brewton-Parker in the Siena Heights half, and it's Antics and Manny putting in so much work. And Kyler, he hasn't had to do anything because why would you? I mean, Siena Heights gets all the shots, leads in shots, but Yanini, 0 for 7, 11, 0 for 2, and they are playing really good, but they have got to find those shots along with not letting those freebies go by. I'm not really sure what happened on that second Brewton-Parker goal, but just something you can't have happen in a series like this.
You don't often see this Siena Heights team looked that scrambled like they were on the pair of open nets that they gave up. I'm with you. I don't understand what happened defensively. It just seemed a little bit off for them. And they've been prone to the occasional mistake tonight, but on average, they have been one of the most mistake-free teams I've watched in a tournament setting like this in a long time. So, game 3, they have to be close to mistake-free enough to win it, and all right, that's a pretty good start. 11 out of nowhere, first blood.
How about that one for 11, Kyler? Just kind of a little too slow to it. Parker maybe getting a little too aggressive the first time. Also, there's no boost for Manny, so not much he could have done either way. But 7 seconds, and Heights right back in it.
That's what you need. I mean, after Brewton-Parker closes that game on the run that they did, that's exactly how Siena Heights has to start this game. First goal, first 10 seconds, even better. But Brewton-Parker, team that can respond, though again, 11 will intercept to the midfield line, setting up Yanini for a finish. It's basically a duplicate setup of the first goal that was scored by Siena Heights, but this one finished by Yanini.
The confidence from Siena Heights is giving them these early goals. Yanini, who jumps for that? Who fakes it? Why does it even matter? It still goes in the back of the net. 11-2, the ego challenge on Kyler, really taking those 90 points to heart. But regardless, we'll see Brewton-Parker. Now again, the pressure back on them. Their first time trailing by more than 1, I believe. And we'll see if they get it right back here. Manny might just open it up. He tries to put it middle. Kyler can't get over 1. And Siena Heights, still plenty of Rocket League left, but they hold off Brewton-Parker for the first little bit.
Yanini shut down in the air. That's difficult to do, but Brewton-Parker accomplished that task. let them a clear, but no offense built off the back of it. Instead, on the other end of the pitch, Antics has to dive back to block that shot from Yanini. Let's make the save, but the rebound starting to come in bunches. 11 pops up with this ball, but Manning right there for the clear. Kyler the extension and double on target. That beats Yanini. What a shot by Kyler.
A shot that you just have to compliment if you're on the other team. 2 nice shots come through, and the 2 wheels touch that ball in the back of the Siena Heights net. That's a great one to get Brewton-Parker back into this one.
No kidding. After Siena Heights start on a bit of a streak in the first minute, Kyler comes up with a beauty. You called him out for having 90-something points in that last game, and he retorts right there.
Yeah, I mean, hey, good for him for stepping up. That's what we'd like to see. Obviously, Yanini has been great for Siena Heights, and Kyler, though he hasn't had to, you would think that in this best of 7, there's going to be moments like that where if he can do the extra mechanical things, it just helps Brewton-Parker get over that line. But so far, a 2-goal lead is quite the line, quite the head start. We'll see, or sorry, a 2-game lead is quite the head start. We'll see if they can continue on and make it 3-0, or if we see 11 lead his team to another goal and another major lead. Nothing yet.
Kind of force there. Antics not allowing anything from Siena Heights, though. Same goes the other way. No shot allowed by 11. And we're being harassed by Manny on the back wall. He'll buy time for his teammates to get there with plenty of boost in hand. Find a stop and a clear out. 11, though, denied entry into the blue end of the field. Kyler, a nice 50-50. And now again, Fuge nearly caught out, but they saved that shot from Manny. It's sketchy at times for Siena Heights defense, but they are working hard to keep this lead intact.
Right now, it's just 1v1 after 1v1 in the midfield. Here comes another one, but this time it's going to be on the Brewton-Parker net. 11! Bottom right, his second goal, and it's a massive dunk.
That is, oh, what a play. I just watched the replay on my other monitor with the stream pulled up so I could watch it a second time. And then a third after that. 11, wonderful play. We are seeing massive step-up moments from individual players on either sides of the pitch this game. And Siena Heights now, 2-goal lead reinstated.
Yeah, we've seen Siena Heights do all the stepping, and it's time for Brewton-Parker to try and even this one up. Again, obviously, you have that serious lead, but you cannot play with a cushion against a team like Siena Heights, especially one that decided, hey, let's just play as confidently as we want to. Let's ego chow everything. Let's push Antics and leave our teammate a 2v1 who's somehow going to make it out of that. We'll see if there's a little more in the tank for Brewton-Parker, but another awkward forced shot. But wait a minute, 11 dies, but not a single player can shoot. This might be a pass to Yanini. It goes right back to the net. There's no boost across the field. There's all demos. There's all bottom left for Yanini, but he can't find it. Now Kyler trying to lead the counter. Dunking 11. Now Antics, last man back, just trying to keep the ball close.
Oh, does well, but unfortunately for Antics, that ball heads right to Fuge, finding Yanini in the corner, but Fuge has the ball poked over his head by Kyler. Continuing the back and forth is developed here in the business end of Game 3. Yanini out to the side. Gets it over Kyler on the first attempt, but Kyler stuck with it. That's good resolve in the middle of that play. Setting up more offense from BPC. Yanini pitches with Antics, but Antics going the wrong way, so it's a retooling moment for Brewton-Parker as they reset their offense.
Kyler with the slow musty in the midfield, just because why not? Love to see the confidence out of them. They're down 2 here, but you got to find a little more in that. You got to find that extra touch, and Antics trying to get something started. It's a double commit, but Siena Heights are starting to adjust heavily here. Even with the double commit, even with the miss, they still manage to find each other and make sure Brewton-Parker doesn't get any more free goals for the rest of this game. And now with a minute left, there's one step closer. Just chalking this one up for BPC as a loss and get one game back in this series, but still a lot of work to do. And one player dies, going to make it a little harder here, as I believe Manny was reading the miss, or not reading the miss from 11. Antics reads the 50, but he can't get much. And now 11, no fake out Manny! Oh my gosh, what better of a goal could you ask for the hat trick?
11 on the ground has been the best player in the lobby in this game. That's another ground play that beats Brewton-Parker. And all right, Siena Heights, they see that 4-1 in Game 2 and match it here in Game 3. My word, what a way to get on the board in this best of 7.
Incredible from them to get back. Great momentum swinging game. Brewton-Parker might just find an extra one there, but not much else that he can do with that as Antics just have to take another 50, and that's what Siena Heights is doing really well, winning every single one of those midfield 1v1s and also finding a counter. Manny obviously has to try and push that one just like Siena Heights did last game, but somehow no extra goals, no charity for either team, and it looks like we'll see this one get slammed downfield, possibly going to be the end unless Siena Heights wants one for the road. Unini on the net. It actually won't hit the ground. Wait. Okay, almost does. It did on my screen, but hey, 5-1. Why not?
Well, you are over in Georgia on East King, so we're in Central servers now, and Siena Heights looking good now that their ping situation has been sorted out. 5-1. Wow, I mean, that's the first game Siena Heights has gotten on Brewton-Parker on Monday Night Lights, so breaking the streak of 6 straight games favoring the Barons, and off the back of 11 and Yanini putting up 11 shots together. Nicely done.
Yeah, it's a streak we would have liked to break earlier, but hey, you'll take it regardless. A great game win. 5-1, 4-1 if you don't want to count the charity goal at the end, but regardless, still a massive lead that they built up from start to finish, taking control of the midfield, and that's what they're going to have to do to beat this Brewton-Parker team. And Brewton-Parker not getting a lot of shots either, so great in the midfield, great on defense, and just taking those counters when you get them.
They actually haven't shot a ton in this series, Brewton-Parker. Games 1 and 2, they had 9 and 7 shots respectively. And here, obviously, lower than that, yeah, it's 6. But they haven't been putting a ton of attempts on net. They have really been waiting for their opportunities to develop against Siena Heights. And that makes sense because SHU today have been very stout defensively, tough to break through. And Brewton-Parker, they have to pick those moments perfectly if they want to make sure they're not giving Siena Heights an easy counterattack the other way.
Yeah, I feel like we have yet to see a total game of Rocket League from both teams. It feels like both have been riddled with mistakes and just all sorts of issues on the defensive half of both teams. But regardless, maybe we can get it in Game 4. Brewton-Parker up 2-1 so far.
Siena Heights an answer. See if they can find a second one and level up this series. That's the wrong way, though. Meanie following it back. No extra touch, but it works out. Len was able to collect it, though. And 6. That is just Manny completely disregarding the defense. And he will step in and mop up.
That's a very tough read. He almost gets back to it, but just not enough boost, not enough people on the net, and Manny top right.
All right, Brewton-Parker, they have responded nicely. You drop game 3 in kind of blowout fashion and come right back there with the goal, but Yanini and 11, they've responded as well. We're tied up again. I love that demo play because that open net was kind of flubbed.
Antics went for the mid boost. Kind of had full faith in that challenge there on the other side of the field, but unfortunately for him, too quick of a ball. And even with that demo, I feel like it's still, or even without that demo, I feel like it's still would have gone in. But regardless, we're tied.
I don't know, I feel like that shot was going where Antics could have actually gotten back to in defense there, but the demo secured it, so I won't even speculate on what might have happened on that previous play. Siena Heights find his first goal in Game 4, really his second. The defensive Brewton-Parker prevailing, finding it clear to the midfield line, but Food places it right back, right in their faces. Still, 1-1 as Siena Heights set up their offense again.
I'm loving the first man work from Siena Heights right now. It seems like there's always somebody putting the pressure on, finding a demo, but can they find the save? Yes, Yanini. Great play from him. Food trying to make quick work out of the clear, but it's going to be 11 who has to run one over Antics, and it works wonders there. It's going to be an awkward 50 that Manny actually somehow turned into a possible counter, but Brewton-Parker, their second man, playing a lot more conservative in this game until right now. Manny looking top left, but 11 not concerned one bit.
Great save by 11. Where's the follow, though? Manny next up. Waterfalled the ball down, but the defense of Siena Heights was prepared for it. Ball off the ceilings. Antics ready for this. Food across. Yanini, the passing option there. Got the ball rather than a shot developing from Siena Heights. Now 2 go for this play. Game 11, both feeling confident they can get to it. Another one does. Kyler takes it away. But Siena Heights, they do not relinquish possession.
Way past 2 there, 11, trying to do something similar, but one thing you'll notice is that they're still starving so much boost out of this Brewton-Parker half that there's rarely a time where all 3 players are completely full, and especially with a double commit like that, it's going to make things really awkward. Both Manny and Antics have to jump at that one. Kyler up next. He'll bang it away, but it's not what Brewton-Parker wants. It's not where you see. All this possession that they had is simply vanished, and we'll see if Siena Heights can make quick work of their turn to hold this possession, but that shot just a little high, but Manny's 50 will give them another chance.
Brewton-Parker right now is playing such confident defense, letting the SHU offense come at them, and sometimes they're forced to with the boost starvation that you mentioned, TJ. But they're making such great reads on the goal line, despite the double commit, despite the difficult shots to save. That Brewton-Parker's not conceding. Now, attempting a clear won't be found as Yanini with full boost heads right back to the BPC back wall. Follow it themselves. They throw off Fuge, I feel, right there. He did get a touch on the ball, but Siena Heights taking the long way round right now when it comes to developing an opportunity.
And that's a major demo. It's been such a sloppy game that you'd love to see something come through here. 2 minutes left. Manny past 2, but 11 there. No Brewton-Parker demo is going to open up the field there, at least not late enough. As this shot might just find the top fence. No, it will not. It's a close shave from Antics, trying to make sure that he can do anything to give Brewton-Parker a chance here. And Manny kind of giving this one away, but forces 11 to at least all this one away to Yanini. And it's just, again, more and more chaos the more this series goes on. Yanini, though, might just put an end to it. 11 has a wide open net. Both players no boost, but 11 simply was faster than that ball. Make it 2-1 Siena Heights.
Siena Heights finally caught the third man of Brewton-Parker rotating back with no boost. There have been no boost saves at BPC on their goal line in the insane last couple of minutes we just watched, but that time Siena Heights got a clean beat in their defensive end, and just had no boost to get back for the save. So a lead for SHU, but how long does it last? Brewton-Parker win the kickoff, try to set up their offense.
Be our 3rd straight game here with a 1-goal lead with about a minute left. Last time, Siena Heights getting the multiple goals at the end. It was Brewton-Parker multiple goals before that at the end. And now with the demos, it's looking like Siena Heights might just be the favorites to take here. But I'm not a betting man. 60 seconds left here to see which team can try and either end this or force this to go to OT. But regardless, you know what Siena Heights is trying to do? Trying to find that right corner there. Brewton-Parker on the counter, but it's a slow one at that.
Many bet on the extra touch from Antics, but still fielded the ball and collected a flick nicely, though. The other way, hook shot from Yanini is hesitated just for a moment, and the postponement of their shot gets the last man out of position. It is looking very likely Siena Heights might be leveling this series up. They do have to close out the final 50, though.
It's a card game, but who says you can't go flying? Wonderful fake there from Siena Heights. Kyler, unfortunately not much that he can do, and it's starting to be this storyline of which third man on both sides is going to step up, as that almost could have been a major goal, but both Antics and Manny, neither one wants to take that shot there. Now Yanini, we know he stepped up, but look on both sides of the scoreboard here. Fuge, he is the one that I'm looking at for Siena Heights to make sure they can drill these next 2 games and end this series, but on Parker's side, first you got to stop double committing and giving 11 these opportunities, but he can't put it away. And like I was going to say, Kyler's the one I'm looking for on the Brewton-Parker side of things. Had opportunities, but similar to Fuge, nothing has come through yet. But as a team, Siena Heights looks so much better, so much more confident. They might just find a 4th here. It's going to be under 1, but that 50 will be pushed away. 11's going to try and find another charity goal at the end here. We'll see if Fuge has anything in the tank. The answer is no. But Siena Heights, it's green lights and yeses all the way around. It's 2-2 so far.
Oh yeah, they are feeling good. Now that we have switched to central servers, they've gotten used to that. Look at the shot numbers. TJ, I think you can figure out what I'm looking at and I'm surprised about.
I don't know what's going on for Brewton-Parker. Like, yes, Siena Heights has so much pressure. They are doing a great job. But Brewton-Parker, they seem to have the chances. But just like we saw Manny and Antics at the end, who's going to step up? Who's going to lead? Sometimes it's Antics, sometimes it's Manny, and even Kyler had a goal there in the last game. But when you're not scoring, when you're not shooting, what are you going to do? Somebody's got to try and take a stand here. Someone's got to lead mechanically and get their way over 1 or 2 like Antics was able to do last game to keep that one close. But in this game, no heroics. And if you can't do that for any game this series, I don't see how they pull this one out.
And Kyler, another game in double-digit points. This time, though, it's not a 4-1 Brewton-Parker win. It's a 3-1 the other way. And so you look at that as kind of a negative rather than, oh, haha, Manny and Antics really stepped up and carried the load for Brewton-Parker. Kyler was just not involved enough. And I think that's due in some part to Siena Heights and how much they have stepped up on the defensive end and limited Brewton-Parker's points of entrance into their box, because so often Brewton-Parker, they were getting great opportunities right out in front of the Siena Heights net, but in the last game or so, they've really been limited to just taking shots from the midfield line and taking setups from the corner to try and get center, and even that corner stopped the near side, and Siena Heights don't allow a shot until now. Right, fair enough. Manny's going to score the first. Brewton-Parker on the board.
Well, you see Brewton-Parker get 2. You see Siena Heights get 2. Two adjustments happening this entire season so far, but who's going to be stronger here, as this might be our first total Rocket League game, but as I say that, a sloppy goal kind of comes in here.
Antics chance to undo the sloppiness, but 11, nice stop. Can't let Antics get going in the air like that. He is a phenomenal aviator, taking control of the aerospace at times, but everyone on the pitch can do that. The ground game right now taking control. Siena Heights placing low shots on target, but all saved by Brewton-Parker.
He has plenty of boost to work with. That's a very awkward touch for him, but he's got the speed to get over Antics. And now, once again, here comes another 1v1. Kyler, this time he steps up. Manny gets the demo. 2 players combined for that one. But those are the types of plays you need to see Brewton-Parker making. Antics looking for a double, but it might be Manny instead. Actually, no. Kyler comes out of nowhere to dunk one player. Almost finds a shot there on net, but as for now, it'll be Brewton-Parker keeping the pressure. This is the team that you want to see for them to make a comeback here.
11 down the pitch, but this ball is never going to reach Yanini as Manny's in the way. Good read in the corner. Parker still making good reads defensively. That one as well. Kyler just shutting down what Siena Heights is trying to do in the offensive zone. Fuge flies past that ball, and so Brewton-Parker will be allowed to spring a counterattack trap, but that is a wonderful web of passes rather, developing for Siena Heights. Again, shut down at the point of entrance by Kyler.
Yanini, though, doing a great job. All of his teammates, great play to make work of 3. Yanini might just find the net here. Manny, though, somehow getting back to that one. This shot's right back on, though, but Kyler coming out the shadows to make sure you push that one off, and here comes 11. Solid play from him. Third man able to make a turn on this one. Does he have more than Tank? Looks like he will. 11 will try and play under, but actually nobody goes there. So this communication from Siena, but it just might be all way going for Manny. It's a great pass, a great coordinated play, but again, someone has to find those heroics.
Who's it going to be for the Barons? If anyone, they do have a lead intact. Siena Heights, though, knocking on the door of a comeback. Fuge one touch. Get back to it, and here we go again. Antics with space in the air. Manny up front. Antics, though, clangs off the crossbar, and Kyler's finishing opportunity goes off to the side. Brewton-Parker, a slight misexecution there, though. Might get a second chance as Kyler pops the ball to himself. Will finish it off with one touch of the crossbar. Not quite on target, and not quite there for the finish.
Kyler almost doing exactly what I think we hope for him to do. Step up with an incredible 1v2, 1v3 there, but unfortunately for him, can't find that last read, and so it's going to fall straight back to Siena Heights here. So what do they want to work with? Who do they want to lead with? Kyler almost just grabs it from them, steals that one there, but Siena Heights, they'll stay alive. Great defense so far, but we're waiting for that counter, for that pass like this right here. Still, it's just great midfield play from both teams. Nothing getting through either team. A trade of demos. Fuge is last man back. He survives the Manny bump, and neither player has anything to work with, but finally 11 has at least something to try and get a pinch with, but once again, it is still sloppy all around.
Still, Fuge, big time stop right there on zero booth. Brewton-Parker could have easily added to their 1-goal lead, but it is still a 1-goal game. Siena Heights, a manageable position for them in the final 80 seconds, especially with their playmaking ability, developing a shot like that, but Fuge, a little bit too light on the ball, so Manny makes a save, finds it clear, a demo, a play in the corner, set up for Kyler, but Fuge is right there to field it.
Great demo, but once again, Fuge stepping up. He makes another massive last man back play, and it might give Siena Heights the chance they need. That's 2 open Brewton-Parker goals that I think No one could defend that wasn't going to be in. But now Kyler, he's got to clear this one out. He's going to leave it for Manny, but has to still tumble down. Regardless,
what?
Antics, I'm not sure what that was at all, but it wasn't what he wanted, and that's not what Brewton-Parker wants to see. Tie game here in Game 5.
Oh, Antics, I guess he realized Kyler was mid. I'm sure that call was made, but he was nowhere near Kyler. Instead, give it right to Siena Heights, and a great punish by Yanini, putting that shot on target. But man, what a crucial mistake for Brewton-Parker.
Oh, we'll see if they can recover from that one. Obviously, a team with plenty of mental experience, but Kyler, the new face, that's who I'm excited to see. Is he going to take over? Is he going to have his moment right here? Looking for a double. He won't find it, but it'll open the door for Manny, who slams it shut. 30 seconds left. It's not exactly the dagger, but it's halfway there.
This is why you have two teammates in a competitive game of Rocket League, to have your back. Antics makes a slight error on the last play. Next one up, Kyler and Manny do great things for the Barons, and they reinstate their 1-goal lead. But 30 seconds left. Siena Heights, we know how dangerous they are. Can they show how clutch they are at the end of Game 5?
On the other side of that, can Brewton-Parker finally be the defensive team that they were in Game 1? It's going to take a Manny 1v3. That's not the 50 he wanted. Kyler out of nowhere, out of thin air to make that save look easy. Fooj rips this one to corner. Not a lot of boost, but now we'll see if this pass comes through. It's going to go off the ceiling. Can somebody get there? It's close, but somehow it's two massive plays from Kyler, and Brewton-Parker finally gets some momentum back in this one.
Still, that was so close for Siena Heights. This very easily could be a series that goes to 7. The shots finally even in a game, 7-7. Brewton-Parker just one more opportunity, found its way in. And look at those save numbers. 6 for BPC and only 2 for Siena Heights. Shows you that BPC was just a little bit off with their shot opportunities, but on their back line, they were on point. Massive game for Manny. Shot 100%, got a savior medal, and Brewton-Parker now on tournament point.
Well, there's your hero ball.
Yeah.
What you needed. Manny with a great performance. I mean, opening the door for Kyler at the end to just barely make it. If Manny doesn't get that 50, I mean, it could have been worse, obviously, but if that 50 goes anywhere worse, then Kyler doesn't get there. So both players stepping up big there, and Brewton-Parker starting to look like their Game 1 selves. But only time will tell here. They're one game away from ending off Monday Night Lights as the champions, but we'll see what happens here in Game 6.
$60 on the line, given to the winning team by Final Form Entertainment, our sponsor for these Monday Night Lights tournaments, which have been so exciting all throughout their inception, starting last week, continuing this one, and 6 continuing the excitement with a massive dunk. Takes out 11 on his own goal line and gives Brewton-Parker a lead.
Manny jumps into that flip reset and then he uses it to dunk bottom left. An incredible mechanical play, another quick start, but now with the momentum shifted, how does Siena Heights respond?
Well, they give Manny the ball. That's not a good response at all, as he can do damage with space. Yanini, though, good stop on the back wall. Threw off Antics as well, so Kyler's low on boost. This could be an opportunity for SHU. Yanini, one quick reset, able to get into the other, but Manny awkward on the back wall. Parker still does well to follow. Good defense.
Watch out for 11, though. You look at who's the game changer for Siena, and it has been 11. And he's not the one scoring, he's the one assisting or bumping, it feels like. So we'll see if he can do something, but he's going to get a taste of his own medicine, getting slammed out the play there. But he might still get a chance as Manny, no boost. He'll be beat by 11. 11 faking under 1. Is there a player to shoot? Cowboy's not there to defend. Fooj steps up. I mean, I was waiting on it. Here we are. Tie game, a minute in.
Food has been one of the best third men all night. Has been solid on the back line for Siena Heights and is always there to finish opportunities when called upon. And that's a big one because Brewton-Parker, if they go on a 2-3 goal run here in Game 6, I'm thinking it's close to over. But Siena Heights show their ability to respond quickly to Brewton-Parker opening up the score. And all right, we're back to even standing.
Siena Heights, if they have any memory of last series they played against this team, it was a sweep. It was because they gave Brewton-Parker early more than 1 goal leads. And Brewton-Parker has something like that. They play really safe. They play really consistent. But other than those first couple games, we haven't seen that opportunity come through. And right now, tie game. So Siena Heights very much still in this. Brewton-Parker, close opportunity there, but a great read from Siena Heights.
It was a little telegraphed, as it took a while to develop the passing play from BPC. Like the idea, but Siena Heights too keen to let that one through. Giannini, a ball popped up that Manny will field using all his boost, but 9 to get back to it for a flip reset off the dunk. Creative at the midfield line for Manny, but Giannini in the air, lethal as ever. I think that was on target, but Kyler, big read on the goal line.
Knowing how he's been shooting, I'd probably say yes! And Fuge almost finds another massive goal, but no Siena Heights lead. Brewton-Parker stays consistent, but how much longer can you do it? How about they find the counter? Fuge, though, he's got 100 boosts. It should be okay. Everybody take a deep breath. We are halfway through, still tied with Siena Heights tournament lives on the line.
Not easy for either side right now, having to work on their goal line in offense just to generate opportunities, let alone goals, with half a game 6 left to play. At the center ball taken away by Fuge. Good read there. Kyler drop down ball at 11. Cuts off. Giannini all up in the corner that he will lose the race to. Fuge just there. Low on boost, yes, but always seemingly good for a clear.
Bump attempt from Kyler, and it might give Manny a chance to keep possession. I love that that shot is enforced, and it's the exact reason why that goes in. It's such a smart play from Manny, and it's absolute tragedy for Fuge, who's been a massive keystone in this game, but unfortunately is in the wrong place there, and it's a 1-goal lead from Brewton-Parker.
Gravity is the enemy of us all, and Fuge could do nothing but just fall on top of the ball and put that goal in for Brewton-Parker. Unfortunate, but Siena Heights an opportunity now. Antix dodges the bump attempt on the goal line, and now is upfield for the open net finish. He puts it off the crossbar, though. Manny skies the rebound. Brewton-Parker can't finish their chance.
That right there is the exact moment Brewton-Parker was looking for. To find that extra lead, to find that extra safety net, but they give it away, and now Siena Heights don't want to do the same. They're going to find a shot blocked by Kyler. Manny touching it to Kyler again, actually. I thought Antix was coming up, but he will not be. He's last man back. He's been playing consistently third man for the last few minutes, but he can't get this one. Kyler somehow dodges the bump. Manny, for some reason, he's right below him. It's an awkward double, but that touch from 11 isn't what Siena Heights is looking for. Kyler almost finding something. Antix trying to do something. Manny, third man aggressiveness from Brewton-Parker. They're up 1, but they don't care, and neither does 11 trying to find a shot. Fuge's turn over to 11, but he doesn't turn.
Didn't have the boost for it, but does refuel at the midfield line and puts the ball center. Follows it with that newly refueled boost tank. And Siena Heights, they have an open net.
It's Antix and Kyler miscommunicating. It's Antix waiting on that ball, and Kyler swoops from under. I'm not exactly sure what the game plan was there, but they lose third man, and without a third man, no savior, and we're tied once again. 1 minute left.
Oh, anyone's game at this point. Brewton-Parker, though, winning the kickoff, setting up their offense through the corner. They have had the bulk of the possession in this game, but Siena Heights have found ways to respond when the Barons take a lead. 11, looking for a dunk on Manny. That's 2 gone. Giannini, last man back, and he's beaten by Antix and Manny. They've combined for so many scores tonight, but none might be more important than that go-ahead goal right there.
1, 2, 3, count them up on your hand, Manny, because that's exactly what it took. 3 players go by, Antix will take the goal, but Manny's doing the heavy lifting.
Kickoff won by Brewton-Parker. They could add to their newly found lead. Antix off the back wall, can't go forward again, instead conserving boost. That's a touch over towards the Siena Heights player, but Fuge is demoed, did dump off the ball to Giannini in time. So 11 waits in the wings to see what develops. Kyler on 100 boost, can't do much with that touch. Fuge realized it, hopped on that play, but same can be said for 11. Has to back off, low on boost, 10 seconds left, and we need to see something soon from Siena Heights. 11 to carry lengthwise, but Kyler denies, and that's a great 50-51 by Manny. Siena Heights have to do it on 0 seconds, but they're awkward right now. Giannini's too far up. Brewton-Parker take Monday Night Lights. They win the $60 in 6, but what a grand finals that was.
An extremely stacked Monday Night Lights, and it came down to probably the next best team they could have asked for, and they take care of business. It wasn't a 4-0 like last time, but Siena Heights looked great all series.
Yeah.
Brewton-Parker finally found their rhythm in those last 2.
They did. It was close. Both 1-goal games to close it out for Brewton-Parker, but they did find a way to slow down Siena Heights just enough to win those last 2 games after they got halfway to winning at the start of the series. But Siena Heights settled in, looked very, very good. And I said it to both these teams in the pregame lobby while we were getting set up. I was like, it's an honor to have 2 future CRL rosters in my lobby. And honestly, I mean, with how they look, TJ, that could be the case.
I would imagine that they'll sit right where they are in the power rankings. Top 25, top 20. They're either going to be in CRL or they're going to be right outside of it. I mean, we'll see. This is a very talented year. I'm very excited for Summer Series. We'll see how these rosters do, but both of them, I would imagine, are most likely locks.
Absolutely. I can't wait for that. That's coming up this weekend. So I have to keep a keen eye on the Summer Series Qualifier 1. But that's it for Monday Night Lights, presented by Final Form Entertainment, the $60 claimed by Brewton-Parker. But I have to shout out all the teams for competing tonight. It was the most entertaining Monday Night Lights, I think, of all time, and broke viewership records for my personal Twitch channel. The casting was wonderful. Shout out to my awesome team. TJ, I appreciate you joining me. Thank you, everyone that tuned in for Monday Night Lights. But TJ, I think we got a great glimpse of what the CRL East side, at the very least, is going to look like going forward.
Yeah, I'm thrilled to have official Collegiate Rocket League back. Well, not exactly yet, but CCA, big thanks to them for bringing things back. And of course, Bepic, you've been filling in the gaps very nicely here with these Monday Night Lights tournaments. So chat, you better make sure you go thank Bepic for even hosting this whole thing. And I can already see the raid queuing up as well. And another major league that's just a bunch of awesome people is Nation and the Collegiate CS boys. So Bepic, I'll let you take us into the sunset.
All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching. Next Monday's Monday Night Lights will just be show matches. The next tournament will return on July 8th. So a little bit of a wait, but there will be another Monday Night Lights $60 tournament presented by Final Form. Again, exclamation point Final Form in chat to go join their lovely community. But for everybody that helped make tonight possible, I've been Mr. Bepic. I'll see you next time.